Zach is good on the keys.
I've watched this same video, the one that the baby watched. I've seen this video 3 times this offseason in its entirety.
All right.
Great security.
Because
Oh, no. What happened there?
That was my bad. It was the video. I didn't think the audio would go through. That's totally my fault.
Okay.
do you think Deebo's fat?
On today's part of my take, we have a twofer for the people. We've got 4-time Blake of the Year, Blake Griffin, on the show to talk some hoops, catch up with him. Been way too long. And then we have Owen Wilson. He's got a new show out on Apple TV called Stick. Really great show. We talked to him about his career, cars, wow, all that stuff. We're going to recap some playoffs because we had an incredible Game 4 in the Stanley Cup Final, and then we had an incredible Game 3 in the NBA Finals. So we're going to talk about both. We're going to do some NFL talk. We got Fyre Fest, U.S. Open, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The NBA Finals are here. This is your last chance to bet on the NBA until next season. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is pulling out all the stops to make this a finals to remember. One team will be crowned champ and the other will be lost to history. Who you got winning it all? Put your hoops expertise to the test all season long. DraftKings has been the go-to spot for NBA player props, and that doesn't stop now. Who's going to carry their team to the chip? Try placing a bet on your personal MVP to drop 30, 40, over 50. Ready to place your first bet? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Lock in your bets and finish the season as a winner. Here's something special. For first-timers, new DraftKings customers, bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Don't miss your last chance to bet on the NBA this season. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Don't miss your last chance to bet on the NBA this season. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, June 13th, and the Edmonton Oilers are very much alive. What a game, PFT. The Oilers were down 3-0. In the first period, they were deader than dead. It felt like it was a coronation for the Panthers. They fight all the way back. They tie it 3-3. They go up 4-3. And then they give up a goal with 20 seconds left to go to overtime. And then Leon Draisaitl. 4th overtime goal in these playoffs. Insane. That was puck, baby. That was some great puck.
Yeah, it's been great. What an incredible game. It had everything. All these games have had everything. In this one, we even had a goalie getting benched in the first period. Skinner gave up 3 goals to start the game. Got him out of there. If you were to inject him with truth serum, do you think he wanted the Oilers to – would he want them to win the Stanley Cup if he was benched?
Well, yes, because he would come back. So, yeah, I think so.
That'd be a tough one to come back from.
It's still the whole.
You'd want your boys to win.
Yeah, you want your boys to win, but he's going to start. He's going to start Game 5.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they'll go back to him.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, he's got him there. Obviously, the last 4 periods have not looked good. Losing 6-1 and then tonight in the first period, but I don't know. Yeah, I actually have no idea if they'll go back to him.
Yeah, I think if they do go back to him, that would be a big risk from the coach. And if they don't go back to him, I feel like that's the less risky play at this point.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to text Jans and ask him right now because he's a Panthers fan. This would be good. Do you
Who do you
want them to
want?
go back to Skinner or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Them to go back to Skinner.
I've gotten to the point now, because I don't know if you're the same, watching this particular Stanley Cup Finals. When the game doesn't go to overtime, I'm pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, it's been incredible. We had one clunker of a game. The other three have been just instant classics. And like I said, Leon Draisaitl, fourth overtime goal in these playoffs. Insane. I think I saw the stat. It was teams are 20, or I think it's 27-0, no, 37-0 maybe. When up 3+ goals at the end of the first period in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
So 37-0, now 37-1 after the Panthers blew that. And it was over. It felt very much over. And the Oilers just there was like a 5-minute stretch in the second period where they just kind of woke up and took the game back. And the Panthers were like stunned. I think the Panthers thought it was over as well, because they just didn't have the same edge. And it's awesome. It's just great puck.
We've had great puck. We've had great ball too. I've got the NHL up 3-2 against the NBA in the finals.
Ooh, okay.
So Friday night is a must win for the NBA to extend the series. But
I think that's fair scoring.
You know who else thought that the game was over? It was not just the Florida Panthers.
Who?
Our good friend Paul Bissonnette.
Oh yeah.
After the first period.
Yeah.
Oil got nothing. They have no room. Anaconda chokehold. Game over. The anaconda chokehold you only break that out if you 100%. You break that out after the game.
Yeah, and anaconda chokehold with 40 minutes left in the game it feels. You know what though? We all make those tweets.
I've never.
We all make those tweets. We all tweet with passion. I was gonna say, if we're doing stars for the game, I think the guy who deserves all the credit for the Oilers is not Leon Draisaitl. It's not Connor McDavid.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. We had some flashbacks to watching NFL Sunday. It was actually the first time that the NFL is coming back, where they just kept on going to Taylor Swift during the game. We're like, what? Okay. It's not Pickard who came in for Skinner. It's Beans guy. I don't know if you saw this.
I saw the Beans. I don't get the Beans guy. So explain the Beans guy to me.
Okay, so this is Young Booze 69. Shout out Young Booze 69, the Juice Man. After the first period, he's an Oilers fan. He was sitting on his back porch and he said, two pounds of Rally baked beans. That's how you lead from the front. And he started eating 2 pounds of baked beans, big Tupperware container. The Oilers came back. He was like halfway through the I think the third period. He's like, I'm going to throw up. This is getting really tough to do. Thank God I've had enough whiskeys to shove 2 more pounds of beans down my throat. So he just kept on going. He kept on just pounding beans, and he brought the Oilers back.
I'm willing to give him the start of the game if he finished the beans.
I think he not only finished the beans, I think he reloaded the beans.
Let me see. What's it? Rally Booze 69?
Young Booze 69.
Young, is it YUNG?
YOU. The correct spelling of Young Booze with a Z 69.
You know what? I'm just gonna look up Rally Beans.
Yeah, he went. Here. I mean, he Rally Beans. You got to give him credit. He went all out. He went all out for the team. The team was in a dire situation, and he went all out for the team.
Shout out to Pick and Save, screaming 2-for-1 deal and family size baked beans. Can't pass something like that up. That's true.
Yeah,
he said dripping in oil.
Yeah.
What a fucking win. Never doubt Bush's baked beans.
Yeah, dude. This guy was just pounding beans.
Okay.
Till the Oilers came all the way back.
I don't see. I want to give him some credit, but I don't know if I can make him start the game. I see no info that he finished the beans.
I think he reloaded the beans because he said he drank enough whiskey to have another 2 pounds.
Job, you got to finish the job. I will give him. I'll give him one of the stars of the game.
Isn't the proof in the pudding though? They came back. They won the game.
Yeah, they did. It was incredible comeback. The first period was like all Panthers, and there were times in overtime it looked like it was all Panthers too.
Yeah. I mean, the Panthers. Was it a crossbar or a post that they hit that felt like it was over, and it was just like, oh. And there was that stretch where the Oilers had their D on the ice for like a minute and 45, and you could tell that it was like getting to that precarious situation in overtime where like these guys are gassed and they're going to make a mistake, and you can't make a mistake in overtime.
Mhm.
But then Leon Draisaitl coming off the bench, just throwing the puck at the net. Like that wasn't even really a shot. It was a one-handed shot where he's like, let's just make something happen. And those type of goals win games.
Yeah, I think it was off the crossbar. I think the save of the night was the shot to the face. The rarely seen shot to the face. I think it dented his face mask too.
Yeah.
To the point where the refs had to step in and be like, hey, man, you okay? Yeah, I'm a hockey player. I'll be fine. We didn't wear face masks until like 10 years ago. And he's like, good point. All right, let's keep playing.
Yeah. All right. Jans hasn't gotten back to me. Neither has Whitney. I'm going to try to call Whitney real quick to see if we can just get a Skinner update.
Okay.
I also sent him the Riverside, but I doubt he's going to join. He's probably Whitney's in the point of the week in Florida where he did a post-game video and he has no voice left.
Mm-hmm. I saw a clip of the two goalies after the game, and they were like shaking hands, and it honestly looked like they did a handshake line after the game. The two goalies to each other. We saw a real life passing the torch. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. All right. Whitney's not picking up. We'll try Grinnell, his handler, and if that doesn't happen, we'll just go without any of our guys. What did you see? Oh, Bad Sports Town.
Yep.
How do South Florida fans not learn after Ray Allen?
I don't know. How you would think that of all the sports towns in America, that would be the one that would be sure to have enough energy to stay through the end of the game.
That, and just like you have probably the number one, when you think of fans leaving early and it going the other way, you think of Ray Allen.
You do, but I think that Panthers fans might be different from Heat fans. And I also think that like true Miami Heat fans, like true Miami sports fans, they wouldn't learn shit from that lesson.
That's true. All right, we're going to give one try to Grinelli. And if we can't get him, we're just going to keep going with some US Open talk. We also have the amount of tweets I'm getting about going to Game 7 are getting troubling.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a few. I think.
Hey, are you with Whit?
No, I'm not allowed in his box. He told me, he saw my nose and he told me I was not allowed anywhere near his box. And that also goes for Merle's, Neems, and Colby as well. He said they're not allowed anywhere near his box.
Wait, so is he alone right now?
I know he's with our photographer. He's also with Pasha. It's just
okay.
I have no idea.
All right. Wait. Are you with Merles?
I am with Merles.
Put Merles on the phone real quick.
All right, I got you. Oh,
This is it. They've been in Florida. They've been in Florida for like 7 days.
Where'd Merle go?
They can't find anyone.
This is awesome.
Merle's in the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Give me arm dog. Give me arm dog. Give me arm dog.
What is Army?
Ask him how long you think he's going to be in the bathroom for.
Army left. Who's there?
We got memes. Merle's is in the bathroom. Aces on TNT. And Whit won't let us in his spot.
And Jans is gone?
Jans is gone.
You guys are a mess.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
All right, give me memes.
All right, I got you memes.
It's other memes.
Come here.
Chicklets has a memes too.
You're on PMT.
All right, you're on PMT.
Wait, how did I get away with that? Hey, what's up,
Hey, what's up, memes? Hey, we just had to go down the line of Chicklets guys, so we're gonna ask you: Do the Oilers go back to Skinner?
I can go on. Yeah, they're going Skinner for sure. Burrows is here too now. If you want him,
All right,
Let's ask him.
Hey, fourth line, this guy right back up. First line, here we go, boys.
What's that?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Hey, Merles, do the Oilers go back to Skinner?
No.
Oh.
You think he's done for the series?
Yes. So what happens in hockey is when you put a weaker goalie in, all the guys smarten up and play a little tighter, a little smarter. They start blocking shots. If you look back in the old, I forget what year it was, this guy, the Hamburglar, do you remember him for Ottawa, the goalie?
Sure.
Andrew Hammond. He went 20-1. He was like from the third league, the East Coast Hockey League. And they brought him up to Ottawa and they threw him in the net. And all the players knew that, like, if they let a shot go through, it was going in the net. So they all just started blocking every shot and then just, like, not making high-risk plays. So they just played such a simple game, and then they eventually win the game. So that's what happens with Pickard.
Okay, so you think Skinner's done for the series?
I think he's done for next game.
Okay, for next game. So he could be back in the series. You play the hot hand. Okay.
Whitney's unhinged.
What?
Completely,
Yeah, he kicked you guys.
completely lost it.
He kicked you guys out of the box.
He's yelling and screaming at some of his best friends in life to get away from him because they scored 2 goals when we weren't next to him. So he kicked us out of the suite. We had to leave. We're like, dude, but we were there for the first goal to start the comeback. He's like, no, but you weren't here for the second and third goal. Screaming and yelling at me, kicked me out of the suite we were in.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Merles. We appreciate it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'll talk to you later.
Oilers in 6.
Oilers in 6.
There we
Wow,
go. I like
okay.
that.
That'll
Yep.
save us a trip to Edmonton.
7.
All right.
No, I don't want to go to Edmonton. I heard you're in now.
Yeah.
7.
Maybe.
No, all right.
All right.
Maybe.
See ya.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye. Merles is the best.
The moss pit looked awesome tonight.
The moss pit looked incredible. Yeah, the what's her name? The woman who dresses in all silver. Fuck.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Mama Stanley, I believe.
She doesn't really react that much. She just raises the sign that says "believe" or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very very demure.
Incredible game. All right, so maybe they go hot hand. Jans did text me back, but he hasn't. He just wrote back me ? I don't care. I said, do you want them to go back to Skinner or not? He said, me? I don't care.
I have a question for you, Big Cat. Has hockey tricked us into saying free hockey just by taking away the fourth quarter? And then whenever it gets to the fourth quarter, we're so grateful to have a fourth quarter?
That's a good point.
I mean, I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I love overtime hockey in the playoffs. But
I really wish we had gotten to that 8th overtime so we get the rules in the envelope in Toronto.
They actually just call it a tie.
Yeah. All right, should we talk a little U.S. Open real quick?
The Open Championship.
Yeah, the U.S. Open wasn't impressed with the golf course. A lot of talk about the golf course. Then we got all the excuses from everyone right after being like, oh, it's soft. The golf course is soft. I still wasn't impressed.
I think that the golf course had a decent opening round.
It was okay, but I was expecting like carnage everywhere.
There's 6 guys under par.
Yeah,
I understand, Hank. I wanted no guys under par. I wanted carnage
There's a
everywhere.
lot of golf to play.
But the way that
the course is going to firm up.
Hank, the way that it was talked about, true or false, they were saying that this was like the most impossible golf course of all time.
There's 6 guys under par after one round. That
6 too many.
I think there were 10 guys that didn't have a birdie today.
6 too many.
I think that I think that Big Cat's right in that the course was talked about like we expected golfers to be bleeding when they left the course. Like
Also-
there would be golfers spitting their teeth out, they'd be bleeding from the nose, they'd be puking, and so far the best that we got was just like some guys losing their balls in the rough. But
Also-
I do think Hank's right that this is what happens with the course. It's the opening round. The course will
rained
lull
on
you
Sunday.
into a false sense of security. Yeah, it rained last Sunday,
Okay,
so we're getting
listen.
drier.
What did I say? I said I wasn't impressed today. And by the way, just as a point of correction, because Hank is our golf expert, there were 10 guys under par today, and there were 19 guys that were even or better.
That's not a lot.
That's too many
guys
for
are
the
pros.
for the way they pumped this thing up. I wanted 0. I wanted the best. I wanted the winning score after the first round to be +3.
Well, what about this? When Siwoo Kim, when he did his post-round interview, he said, "Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing on this course. I feel like this course is too hard for me."
Yeah,
and he was 2 under.
Yeah, and he's in 3rd place.
Yeah,
Incredible. And also, our guy Brooks. Listen, there's a lot of golf to be played, but he had a great round, probably his best round in a major in a long time. And also, he had a press conference that made me think that he might have his swagger back. Did you see this? Where he was. So the question that was asked was, question, everyone always points back to the comment at Beth Page, 5, 10 players, whatever can win this week. Do you still think of yourself that way, or has it changed at all? Brooks replied, I mean, I don't talk about it. You guys talk about it. Then the journalist said, "It was your quote, though." And Brooks said, "It was. I said it once, and now everyone repeats it." Stop talking about my quote.
Yeah.
He got his swagger back, maybe.
Well, he gets pissed off. It's like you're copying me.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You're stealing my words. I'm not saying my words right now. You're saying my words to me. They're not even your words. They're mine.
PFT, what do you think the boys in the booth are talking about? Because they've just been having a conversation off mic.
Sorry, my
right in our face.
Wait. Let me answer. It's whatever those 3 kids in the basement around a coffee table were talking about when they're doing the podcast.
Yeah, they're just chit chatting it up with their mics off while we're just trying to do the show.
I have a buddy from Miami who's been FaceTiming me one stop, and I finally answered just to tell him to shut up, and he was with Grinelli, and they're buckled. So it was a funny full circle moment.
Oh man, the Chicklets guys are in disarray right now.
One thing that we do need to do though.
By the way, the best part about that whole entire exchange with the Chicklets guys is just like Grinnell just being like, "Biz is on TNT." It's like they're one of their guys. We got one guy in the bathroom, one guy over here. Biz is on TNT.
Biz is on television talking to Wayne Gretzky like he likes to do.
What were you going to say?
I forget. We were talking about golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to just keep an eye on the leaderboard. And the second that Brooks takes first place, God willing, then at that point, Big Cat, you need to stop talking trash about the course and you need to start gassing the course up.
That's fine. Listen,
because at that point, it's like Brooks is dominating at the hardest course ever invented.
If the course answers tomorrow, I'm not making a final judgment on this course. My only point was the way this course was talked about, I wanted it to be a lot harder. And I know it's very hard. And I know there's only 10 guys under par, but like it's the hype. The hype was so insane where guys were saying like, I saw like they were interviewing a bunch of pros being like, what is a 10 handicap shoot on this course? And they were like 180, 160. Mm-hmm. They don't finish. Like they would lose every ball. So it's like I just kept on hearing all this stuff, and I want it to be that. I want it to be so excruciating. And listen, if it's going to firm up, I'm in. I want the course to fight back. I also want Brooks to win, but I want the course to fight back.
It's going to fight back. It's going to bake out a little bit. There was one piece of course propaganda that they put out that at that point I knew they were going too far and hyping it up. And that's when we had multiple golfers doing their approach shot from 120 yards with a putter to show how dry it was. When that happened, I was like, wait a second. That's actually really easy.
Yeah. I was like, you could do the putter thing.
Yeah, I could get a par on that hole just using my putter.
It was that, and then it was the army of lawnmowers when they had them just marching around and being like, well, they actually get it so the grass stands up, so it's even more impossible to find. I get it. I love the U.S. Open. I love that they make it really hard. Just tone it down if it's not going to be as hard. If it's not going to, I want the winner to be plus. I want him to be over par.
The guys with the lawnmowers, there was one where they're standing in the bunker and they've got the lawnmowers above them mowing the side of the bunker. And I thought it was a viral ad for Final Destination. Like it looked scary, but then I was looking at that. I was like, why are you making such a big deal out of the guys with the mowers? The scarier thing would be if they had no guys with mowers out there at all and let the court, like there should be a guy standing in front of those lawnmowers like it's Tiananmen Square being like, stop with the mowing, grow it out. Let's let this course be all that it can be.
I thought the same thing when I saw the lawnmowers. I was like, are they making it easier?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand how any of this stuff works in golf course. What's the actual? There's a
maintenance.
No, yeah. I think it's golf course maintenance is like a pretty popular major at a bunch of colleges.
Yeah,
you can do it. What do you got? Memes. They just keep talking without the mics on.
No, it's turf management.
Turf
my
management
was a golf college.
Did you do it?
No, business. I went for business, but memes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Memeology.
Meme, do you want to say anything about Luigi shouting you out?
Do I disavow him?
What do you say?
It was a nice shout out.
It was a nice shout out. I think you take a shout out whoever you get it.
What did he say?
He just said he had made a list of things that he's thankful for in prison, and then one of them I think was like thick Latinas for Luigi, and then the next one was memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Latinas for Mangione.
Yeah. I got comment from Oldie about whether or not Edmonton should start Skinner or not. He said, "Don't think."
Don't think.
I don't know if he's telling us to not think about it or if he's saying I don't think they do.
Okay,
I think
so
he's saying I don't think they do.
If we're keeping score at home, Chicklets Meme said go back to Skinner. Merle said don't go back to Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
Oldie said don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Yan said I don't care.
Yep.
It's a good. We got it all. I
Yeah.
don't think we missed any answer that you could have.
Somebody's going to be right.
So someone is going to win this one. All right. Should we kick it to ourselves? Talking NBA Finals and a little NFL, and then we'll get to our interviews.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're back in studio before we talk some other sports. Game time. Guess what? Football is back. The 2025 NFL schedule is out, and the only place you should be getting your tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. I'm already planning my fall schedule and circling the games I want to go to with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. Game Time makes scoring NFL tickets faster and easier. They have exclusive discounts, and you can find seats for as low as $100. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic NFL tickets on time and for the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you'll pay. We're looking at, Hank, what game are we looking at?
Tom Brady statue night.
Oh.
It's the preseason Commanders at the Patriots. It's August 8th, and you can get in for as little as $43. Big night.
Big night. So $43.
I think I might go to this.
You gonna go to it, to the statue unveiling?
It's a big night.
Preseason week
One.
Okay, so what are you waiting for? Go buy all your NFL tickets. Get ready for football season with Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Okay, boys, the Indiana Pacers are up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. Holy shit. This team, and listen, we've doubted them at times. Hank has really doubted them.
Yeah.
But they answer the bell every single time. That was an awesome game 3. These finals have been a lot better than anyone expected. And it was, again, the Indiana Pacers just having dudes after dudes after dudes. TJ McConnell off the bench. First player in NBA Finals history to go 10 points, 5 steals, and 5 rebounds. And Benedict Mathurin, who was awesome. 27 points. He was, I think, 9 for 12 shooting. Also, I looked this up. He had the most points off the bench in an NBA Finals game since, does anyone have it? 27 points off the bench. Most.
Delhi.
Nope.
Good answer.
It was Jason Terry, 2011, Game 6.
Also coached by
Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
Little something there.
That's quite a nugget.
I mean, Benedict Mathurin, he didn't play the first quarter, and then he outscored the Thunder's bench 27-18 by himself.
And did you see him after the game was over when SVP was interviewing him? Like, hey, that's pretty cool that you did that. He was saying all the right things. But the difference is, like, I believed him when he was saying all the right things. He's like, I honestly do not care until we win the championship.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. And it was at that point, because after the game, I was like, that's awesome for the Pacers. I'm glad they got one at home. What a performance from their bench. What a performance by the entire team. And the crowd was awesome last night.
Crowd was
too.
awesome. Caitlin Clark, shout out, 8-0 now.
Yeah, what a great game it was for them. And I was like, that's cool, but I still thought that the Thunder were definitely going to win. Then I heard how little he cared about how many points he scored.
Yeah.
And for whatever, he hypnotized me. I was like, this guy actually means all the cliche shit that you say, that you're supposed to say. I kind of believe in the Pacers now.
Yeah, he's an all-time confidence guy. If
Yeah.
you remember, there was a story when he was in the combine in the draft process. He said his first, what he's looking forward to most in the league is his first game against LeBron James, because a lot of people say he's great. I want to see how great he is. I don't think anybody is better than me. He's gonna have to show me he's better than me.
Yeah, I've seen him on TV, but he hasn't played me before.
That's an all-time confidence guy, all-time bench guy. And yeah, the Pacers, I mean, Halliburton also answered the bell where he was like way more aggressive, was I think a rebound shy of a triple-double. And it was like there was multiple moments in that game where I was like, uh-oh, here come the Thunder. Even how the second half started where they I think they scored like 6 points right away. I was like, oh, this game. And then just the Pacers just kept on coming back and fighting. And then you look up and it's like, I think the Thunder went like a long stretch in the fourth quarter without hitting a field goal. SGA was bad in the fourth quarter, really bad. 3 points. He's the MVP of the league. And he needs to be, and he was bad defensively. Like, he needs to be put in that same spot when you have a game like that to be criticized. Obviously, he's a great player, and I expect him to answer in game 4, but he was bad in the fourth quarter in game 3.
And when you blow the Pacers out, they're going to come back and beat you in the next game. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Every time they get blown out this postseason, they are 4-0. They're undefeated when they lose by 15-plus points in the previous game.
And they also have not lost back-to-back games since March 10th.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so I think I low-key believe in the Pacers.
I do too.
I think I high-key, low-key believe in the Pacers.
I believed in the Pacers throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs, and then the finals came, and I was like, I think the Thunder are going to win. And I know that it's obviously now that they're up, but there's something about them. Like, they just have more guys, and I think it's also the moment is never too big for them. They're not scared.
Yeah.
Like, they're not worried. They're not scared. And something about this team is special. They also they're going for the longest odds ever to win an NBA Finals.
Yeah, it's got to be up there in all 4 sports too, right?
It's fourth all time in all 4 sports right now. So their preseason odds were 66-1. The second longest preseason odds to ever win an NBA title was the 2014-15 Warriors at 28-1. In all of sports,
Leicester City.
We're counting sports.
Yep.
In all of sports, the 1999 St. Louis Rams, 150-1 preseason odds. The 1991 Minnesota Twins were 80-1, and then the 2003 Florida Marlins were 75-1, and then fourth is the Pacers, 66-1. But what's crazy is the Pacers, I think, were longer odds even when the postseason started. They were 80-1.
Yeah, that is
they went up.
And I think with that Twins, I think they were playing the Braves in that World Series, and they were both worst to first teams. That's probably the biggest combined odds to reach the championship.
Kirby Puckett put the whole team on the back.
That's right.
Yeah, and they had the
Blackjack McDowell, right?
The best was the plexiglass, the hockey boards out in the outfield.
That was an insane stadium.
Yeah, so awesome. Hubert Humphrey Dome.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Trivia time.
Okay.
How many free throws do you think Tyrese Halliburton has shot in the finals?
7.
Total.
In the finals. Wait, don't put. Hey, Zach, don't pull it up.
Zach got hot on the Google.
All right, so you say 6.
8.
7.
Wait, Price is Right rules?
I don't give a fuck either way.
8.
7. 0.
Oh shit!
He shot
6.
0 free throws in the NBA Finals.
That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy, isn't it?
I feel like I memory hold him shooting free throws.
With all the talk about whether or not he's a superstar, that would actually go a long way towards him becoming a superstar. Is if there's moments in the game where it stops and everybody just watches him shoot the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, he game 2 he was not very aggressive, but that is crazy. In game 1 and game 3, he has not shot a free throw. He's so good. And good trivia, by the way.
Thank you.
Really good trivia.
Get ready for the dozen next week.
Great trivia. I think, though, we kind of buried the lead here. I was wondering, we could talk about the Pacers, incredible run. We can talk about the Pacers being 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. What a game 3. By the way, Chet Holmgren, get your weight up, bro.
Get your weight. That's one guy that I think Perk could actually take him under his wing.
Yeah.
And be like, I need to help you, young man.
Box score, if you box score watch, you're like, oh, Chet had 20 and 10 or 20 and 9, whatever it was. And we're going to talk about this with Blake Griffin in a minute. But That sequence at the end of the game when he got blocked by Miles Turner and then like got blocked by 4 guys, he just looks a little in over his head.
Yeah.
He'll bounce back. Maybe he'll bounce back. I don't know, but he looks a little bit over his head.
He's going up against like a 10-year vet.
Yeah.
That knows how to put it. That's playing booty ball on him.
Yeah. But so what I was going to say is we missed the 2 most important conversations about these NBA finals. The first is what must LeBron and Luka do to win an NBA title?
I saw that this morning.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
That was one of the lead stories on Get Up. So
what? Let's start out with LeBron.
Okay.
What does LeBron need to do to win an NBA title?
Get 5 years younger.
I think he needs to have Luka lose some weight.
That too.
And what does Luka need to do?
Get LeBron 5 years younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's the formula right there.
Okay, and then the other story, which I would say is more important on ESPN this morning, was Stephen A. Smith picking a fight with Tyrese Halliburton because we hadn't figured out how Stephen A. Smith was going to make these NBA finals about him. Tyrese Halliburton basically said in a press conference, not naming any names, he was just like, I don't care what everyone says about me. We're 2 wins away from the finals. Like, from winning the championship. That's all I care about. Stephen A. Smith then called him out and said, has he read the news? I'm going to be here for a while, and players far more accomplished and far more superior have made their efforts trying to call me out. How has that worked out?
How has it worked out?
I think Kevin Durant's made a lot of money. And
did it work out for LeBron?
I think LeBron's made a lot of money.
It
and
did
had a lot
kind
of
of work out for
accomplishments.
LeBron too. It's a fair point by Stephen A. Smith. I particularly enjoy the fact that it was kind of sandwiched. This segment was sandwiched in between another segment where he talked about Kevin Durant online.
Yep.
Saying people need to stop insulting Kevin Durant, stop making it personal, stop coming at him. He's a great basketball player. We should be celebrating his greatness.
Yeah.
And had zero self-awareness to the fact that he literally just did that to Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, pretty much. He's those segments live independent of each other.
Yeah. It's a different. It's like
Severance.
It's like episodes of The Simpsons. You tune in next week and it's like, okay, whatever happened in the nuclear power plant didn't actually melt down 7 days ago.
Yeah, he's the wife in Severance going into different rooms.
Yeah.
Just every single room has a different Stephen A. Smith take that is contradictory to the one that he just made.
Yep.
That was quite a choice by ESPN. We also had Adam Silver gaslighting us about the logos, which he was like, they haven't been on the court for a while.
Well, the NBA, I know one thing about the NBA and the front office there. The league office does not like to make crazy court designs.
Yeah. Ever.
Because it's slippery.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. So you can't put the trophy on. You can't put the NBA Finals logo on the actual court because somebody might slip on it. And that's why nothing ever changes on an NBA court.
Yeah. He just... Again, like a couple of years ago, they were putting it on the TV broadcast, which that's what we were talking about. I would like it on the court, but I understand if you want to pretend it's player safety, okay, fine. But at least put it on the TV broadcast. Then now it's just on, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but YouTube TV is presenting
the
NBA Finals.
I did see that.
It's very apparent.
I don't mind the script logo. I think it's a fine compromise.
I like the script logo.
But the more Adam Silver talks about, the more he gives us power.
Oh yeah.
So we're in his
own
head
you,
right now.
buddy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you back on PMT when we're going to pitch you all of our ideas.
He's simping for us when he goes on TV and he's like, yeah, okay, I want to do another 20 minutes about the logo on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking to the internet right now, Adam.
Yeah. So this side of the room believes in the Pacers. Henry Lockwood.
Yes.
Now PFT and I, again, I'm not claiming that I am saying that I thought the Pacers were going to win this series. Cannot claim that. I think my official pick was Thunder in 6. But PFT and I did say that we both said the Pacers are going to win one of these home games on Monday's show. It is over.
Yeah, I dug myself in a hole. I'm staying there, but after last night and as these games go, the pressure's going to, keep mounting on the Thunder. And we might get into a situation, Thunder fans block your ears, where in 5-10 years they're showing Chet Holmgren, Shea on different teams and being like, wow, could you believe this team made the finals and didn't win?
That's mean. That's very mean what you're doing right now.
This is you're just going, very triggering for Thunder fans specifically.
This is it. It's kind of like the Knicks. It's like you're never going to have a better shot than this year.
You don't think so?
No, they're going to have a much better shot.
Not if they don't win this one.
You think that this is a portal series for them?
Yeah.
What if they trade?
If they lose this, it's a sliding doors moment. your entire future will be miserable.
That's what it's starting to feel like.
And
What
if
if-
you win this series, then you're going to win 4.
Something like that.
What if they trade Chet and a bunch of picks for Giannis? That would seem like a pretty good team.
It would seem like it, but you never know. It's hard to get to the finals. It's hard to get back.
What if they lose this series?
Injuries happen.
What if they lose this series and then they hit up the New York Knicks and say, hey, do you want to talk to Dagno? And then they hire Tibbs.
That'd probably be bad for them too.
So
I don't know. It's
are you
just
saying-
the Thunder. The Thunder need to win this series. I still think they're going to. I guess in 6 now, but
Why not 7? Oh, because the Valkyrie?
the Valkyrie, and I just think.
Well, no, Caitlin Clark is going to be there for game 4.
So then I guess it's going to have to be 7.
It's gonna have
But
to
that's
be
bad.
7.
That's bad for the Thunder.
Yeah.
If it goes 7, that's bad for the Thunder.
Does it not feel like the Pacers just play a looser, more fearless style of basketball, and the Thunder, it's just a little tight. It's a little tight. Although
Also, the not shooting threes, I think, is coming back to bite him too.
yeah, there was like no threes in the entire game.
Yeah,
It was
that's
crazy.
When you get down in these games, it's like if you're not a 3-point shooting team, it's harder to come back.
Lou Dort did start 4 for 4 and was like his 3 balls touched the Earth's crust. I mean the moon's crust.
It was a great first quarter from Lou Dort. Yeah.
Here's what I'll say if you're a Thunder fan freaking out. I would say you could say this is going exactly like the Nuggets series, which it actually is. They lost game 1 at home against the Nuggets in a ridiculous, insane way to lose a game where they were up all game and then they blew it at the end. They killed the Nuggets game 2, went to Denver for game 3, lost that game in overtime, I think it was, and then they won the next 2 and won in 7. So there at least is. This they've been down 2-1 in these playoffs.
But must win.
Must win, but they've been down 2-1 basically in the exact same way. Lose a game they should have won game 1, blow out game 2, lose game 3.
Yeah, I would not panic if I was a Thunder fan. When you watch when the Pacers are playing winning basketball, they will make you panic because they do so much crazy shit. Like the ball, was it the Spurs that used to have the rule? It's like you have to do something different with the ball within half a second. Like the
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers, everybody touches the ball. That was the Hoosiers. But the Spurs, I think, had a rule where it was like you got to either dribble or pass the ball or shoot the ball within a half second. And that's how our offense is going to go.
Or like the Suns, 7 seconds or less.
Yeah, 7 seconds.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a pretty fair comparison too. But when the Pacers are clicking, it's like it's dizzying to watch on television. It must be dizzying trying to figure out who's your man right now. Who are you currently guarding? Because you've just gone through like 3 screens and there's been 3 passes in that time span. And when they're clicking against you, it's just got to be overwhelming. So you just need a new game. You need a new 48.
And that's
wipe the slate clean.
Yeah, and you're right. Like Rick Carlisle is such a good coach, and they do like you don't know also you don't know like what they're gonna be doing, but you also don't know who's gonna step up. And the Thunder, like they were throwing a lot of stuff at SGA, and it was frustrating the hell out of them, blitzing them up top and kind of disrupting. Like if you can disrupt SGA, you can have success against them. I feel like the Pacers defense was great too.
It was really good.
I know that the Thunder SGA's got to play better for the Thunder. Like that's just a fact. He has to play better. He can't score 3 points in a fourth quarter, and he has to play better defense.
The TJ game.
TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell game. He was so fun to watch.
That was so great too.
He looked like he had a little Cooper DeJean in him last night. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he did. The story about his dad being a coach and coaching both he and his sister, and coaching his sister not as hard as TJ, and TJ getting upset. That was like you could have
no duh.
Yeah, you could have put a gun to my head and be like, "Hey, TJ McConnell's dad's a coach and he has a sister. Explain how that went," and I would have gotten it exactly right.
Yep.
So one other NBA thing before we talk a little NFL, memes. How's the coaching search going, buddy?
They're casting a wide net.
Not saying no to anybody. No, but you know what the Knicks are doing? It's like they're the no bad ideas out in the open in front of everybody.
Yeah, they're the dude at the bar who's like, I have no problem being told no by a chick.
Well, it's also
I'm just gonna keep peppering the whole board.
It's also like 1:50 a.m. and they're doing that at the bar right now.
They're just hoping that someone says yes. So
they're hitting up their buddies' friends and being like, "Hey, how serious are you and this girl?"
Yeah. Hey, what grade is your sister in again?
Yeah.
So Ime Udoka Chris Finch, Jason Kidd, Quinn Snyder, Billy Donovan. That's a list of teams that the Knicks have reached out to.
That's 5.
And been told no. Here's an idea. I'm just going to throw this out there. There is one guy who the team can't say no because he doesn't coach for a team right now.
An NBA coach?
He's maybe teased that he would coach in the NBA.
Who?
Jay Wright.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Calipari.
No. Yeah, Calipari did say, he was like, it's an incredible job. Jay Wright doesn't have to be asked. You don't have to ask Jay Wright like some front office. You just have to ask Seth Davis.
You just got to maybe call the Pope.
Yeah. You got to see if Seth Davis is cool with him interviewing.
Jay Wright would be a home run.
Oh, man.
Do you think that the Bucks are going to proactively reach out and be like, hey, do you want to talk to our coach?
Dude, I think they're going to try to hire. So it's Budenholzer, Mike Brown, Taylor Jenkins, Michael Malone. What else? I mean, someone who Jerry O'Connell was saying that they should just rehire Tibbs.
I think so.
And just be like fresh start.
And they can be like, we just did the Tibbs thing to you, Tibbs.
Yeah, right.
Like I just Tibbsed you.
Yeah, we just made you hungrier.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea at this point. And when they fired Tibbs, we reacted to it live on the show. And I think I said, this is a move that the New York Knicks did because it seems they have a plan for who they want to hire. I've never been wronger on a take in my entire life because it did feel that way, where it's like you don't fire Tibbs unless you know what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
I was so wrong. I was so wrong about that take.
To your defense, you didn't at that time, if we were working on just the information we had, we didn't know that James Dolan had gotten involved again.
Yes, there was a material change.
That was a big material change. We thought James Dolan was still doing his band and doing other shit. He had gotten back involved. That's when you know there is no plan.
If you're a New York Knicks fan, the best thing you can possibly do is gaslight James Dolan into thinking that his band is awesome and going to every performance, have him sell out everywhere he goes. Just use as much of his time as possible playing kazoo in his band.
Yeah.
And staying away from the team. Make him think that he's a rock star.
Make him have to build another sphere.
Yeah, where he has a residency in his own sphere.
A James Dolan sphere.
Yeah, and don't tell him that you've created a prison. I guess he has created his own prison for himself to perform his music in.
Right.
But de facto, that's what it would be. You're just keeping him away from MSG.
Yes. So what are you going to do, Memes?
I'm not saying it.
What are you going to say?
You're not saying it? Now you have to say it.
There's a theory that they're crossing all these names off. They're going to ask everybody, get denied, and then they're going to go back with a Rick Brunson being the coach.
Oh, okay. You can't do that.
I'm with you. I think
that.
that's DEFCON.
You cannot do that.
You can't. But
You
that's
cannot.
a theory I saw out there.
So, Memes, what is the upside for these teams if they hit up the Rockets and they're like, hey, we'd like to interview Ime Udoka for the team? Like, I know there's maybe some sort of draft compensation that could happen, but like, would you, if you were happy with your coach, like all these teams seem to be, why would you expect them to say okay?
Because it gives those coaches a better opportunity to go win a championship.
The Rockets were pretty good this year.
So if I run the Rockets, if I'm the owner of the Rockets, and I get a call from the Knicks, and they say, we'd like to interview your head coach, I'm thinking to myself, it's the right thing to do for Ime Udoka to let him pursue his goals of a championship, so I'm going to trade him to the Knicks?
Well, not Ime or Chris Finch. Like, if you're Chris Finch, you wouldn't want to leave a 23-year-old superstar.
Right.
Or even Jason Kidd, you're about to get Cooper Flag.
Or the fact that they just fired the guy who had the best team in Knicks history in the last 25 years, and they're like, see ya, buddy. That might also make you nervous to go take that job. That James Dolan is now involved, and they kicked Tibbs to the door after literally the best year in 25 years.
That would make you nervous, but some people say that he reached his ceiling, and then four out of the last 5 coaches that won a NBA Finals also got fired. So
yeah, but if they're going to treat him like that, what's going to happen to me?
But if other organizations are winning championships and then firing their coach, I think it's just
true.
The coach life cycle is just short right now.
It's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think that's a very fair counterpoint, but also you're probably looking at this and saying James Dolan.
Mm-hmm. So you're down for... So Memes is... Shane, can you make the graphic? Memes wants Rick Brunson?
No.
Put it out. Rick Brunson. I like that Max had to like talk in your ear to get you to the point where you could say that out loud.
Well, he said it to me earlier, and I was like, "There's no way they're not." And he's like, "That's the rumor. That's the rumor." And I was like, "You got to say it. You got to bring it up."
Where do you get your rumors from, memes? Where's that? What part of the internet is that coming
Or is
from?
it your brain?
Other Knicks fans.
Oh, okay. Ben Stiller's been peddling in this rumor.
No, just Knicks Twitter.
Timmy
Knicks
C.
Twitter.
Hank, are you loving this?
Yeah.
You loving this?
This was their shot.
What name would
Well,
make,
that's. I mean, the roster's coming back. It's not like the Celtics just put their entire team on the trade block.
Oh, did that happen?
Legion Hoops.
Oh, did that?
Everybody
entire
except
team?
Tatum is up for trade.
per Legion Hoops?
Oh shit,
That was yesterday.
that's pretty crazy, Hank.
We knew that was coming.
The whole team?
Well, it's going to be a couple of them. You just put them on the block, and then you
Do you
figure
think
out
that was-
who you trade.
Do you think that was a way for Brad Stevens to like not have Jaylen Brown mad at him? Because really, it's like Jaylen Brown, but they're like, hey, everyone's available.
Maybe.
Like, don't worry, we'll trade anyone, but Jaylen Brown. He's doing that.
I have a question for you.
Yes, PFT.
What if the New York Knicks hired Brad Stevens?
Brad Stevens is not going back.
I'll
to
tell you
coaching.
what, PFT, they got to at least make him say no.
You have to. You
got to make him say
you
no.
You got to make the phone call.
Oh, Max is so happy that we flipped it. He's so happy that we're off Jay right now onto Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens is not going back.
We're
to
just
coaching.
trying to help the Knicks. We're trying to search for a name.
James Dolan has to call Brad Stevens.
You have to have him say no.
They're trading.
That's fair.
Their entire team's on the trading block per memes. Mm-hmm. So you think Brad Stevens, like, this might be a good time to get out?
Maybe they call and are like, "Hey, let's talk trade. By the way, you want to coach?" Is
And
that-
then he trades all their good players to the Knicks, and then he goes to the Knicks and coaches them.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I heard it was happening on Legion Hoops.
Legion Hoops. Do you guys want me to read a headline real quick? I wanted to read a headline for you before we do talk NFL. Remember we used to do this, read a headline. DeMarcus Cousins is suspended for the remainder of the season after scratching his balls and making a heckler sniff his hands.
Yep. I had a lead for you. We read a lead. DeMarcus Cousins seemingly scratched his balls and made a fan sniff his hands during a serious altercation that led to suspension for the rest of the season from his basketball team.
This is in Puerto Rico, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's fate on sight.
Yeah, although it's DeMarcus Cousins, so you probably can't do anything about it.
The exception of DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, little teaser. The State Farm Barstool Basketball League is currently airing.
Yep.
That happens in one of the games.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is fade on site.
And it's
It
bad.
should be.
It's bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a great teaser.
So
Because we had DeMarcus Cousins playing in the tournament.
what did the
That's not even the correct teaser. What happened in the Barstool? I won't say what happened in the Barstool. The State Farm tournament is way worse than the DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh. When is the next episode?
June 16th.
June 16th is game one.
Yep.
I'll just say AWLs would like to watch game one.
Yeah.
Me versus Hank.
It's gonna be wild.
Wild.
Game one. Wild. That was good teasers.
Thanks.
I still think that DeMarcus Cousins is probably top 10 guy in the United States that I would not want to get into a fight with.
I'd agree.
Him and Zach Randolph always like interchangeably scary.
Just big booty dudes. Don't move so fast, but it's like they move with purpose.
And they're
That makes
mad
sense.
and they're angry.
Yeah, they're angry. They're always angry. Okay, do we want to talk a little NFL?
Yeah, let's talk some NFL. I'm excited to talk NFL.
I had a couple things. One was the Bengals are being pieces of shit again.
So I've never heard of this since they implemented the new rookie wage contract stuff.
Yeah, so we're talking about Shamar Stewart, their first-round pick from Texas A&M, 17th pick in the draft.
So he is no longer at OTAs right now.
Correct.
He's left OTAs, no contract signed. And he left because they're trying to put a clause in the contract that if he gets hurt in the preseason, his money becomes not guaranteed anymore.
I
right?
think it's a total void of it's hurt, or if he gets like, any type of league penalty, like if he gets suspended for anything, and it's not just the year that it happens, it's the entire contract.
And the Bengals are doing this is this the first time it's ever happened?
I don't know if it's the first time ever happened. I know that I was reading about it. No other rookie in this year's draft had the clause. and then the last 5 Bengals first-round picks did not have this clause. It's essentially the first time they're ever doing it.
So the owner of the Bengals is like, listen, we paid money to all the wide receivers that you wanted, Joe.
Yeah.
Now we have to cut back in other places.
But the funniest part about all this is they drafted Shamar Stewart to be a Trey Hendrickson replacement.
Yeah.
And when they drafted Shamar Stewart, they're like, this will put pressure on Trey Hendrickson to hopefully sign because we have another guy on the defensive line, and now they have neither of them.
I would say that Shamar Stewart probably has all the leverage in this situation.
Yeah, because so he can literally hold out and just be drafted again next year.
I don't think that's...
I was reading about it. I'm pretty sure you could just go back and
Florio's got the answer to this.
Florio definitely has the answer. Unless I read something that was just fan fiction, which I could have. Absolutely. 100%. Yes, according to the NFL's collective bargaining agreement, Shamar Stewart, the Bengals' first-round pick in the 2025 draft, could re-enter the 2026 NFL draft if he remains unsigned and the Bengals don't sign him by the deadline.
But I thought that the team that drafted you would have rights over you for a little bit longer than that.
Let's find another story instead of just AI.
That's just AI, yeah.
Let's find a story. Florio probably wrote about it.
Zach, your controls.
All right. Yeah, I mean, this is Sports Illustrated saying it.
Was this article written by AI?
It could have been. Wait. Go back to that because he referenced Florio. AI.
Okay,
the AI Sports Illustrated referenced Florio.
Okay, so now click on the Florio because we know that he's a human being as far as we know.
You know what? Let's just
call him. This is above our pay grade.
This is. I did see it from more than one person.
Phone calls are back. The AI is going to drive us to having person-to-person interaction, person-to-Florio interaction.
My take about AI is you can't trust anything anymore, so you just have to be, hey, you're on Pardon My Take live right now. We don't trust AI anymore. We don't trust the internet. If Shamar Stewart does not sign with the Bengals, can he re-enter next year's draft?
Yes.
Okay, love it.
And any team can get him.
And any team can draft him?
Except the Bengals.
Oh, except the Bengals.
I guess that would make that would be funny if the Bengals let's try again.
I can see the Bengals try again. Yeah.
Wait, are you on the treadmill or something?
I'm riding my bike.
What's your calorie count right now? Burned.
I just started. I'm at 3.7 miles, 8.5 minutes. Calories.
Who's your
88 calories.
Who's your Peloton instructor?
I know. I play Madden.
I love it.
That's
You're
awesome.
such a football guy. All right, what's the score in the game?
I'm doing challenges to try to make my team better.
And you're going to be 60 when?
I'm already 60.
Oh, you just turned 60.
Thanks for texting me. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Mike.
birthday.
Hey, Mike, happy Internet Father's Day coming up on Sunday. Mike, before we start talking about Deebo, do you know, is Deebo fat?
Is Deebo fat?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, good answer.
all right.
That was a good answer. All right. Keep at the Peloton. That's Mike Stud for you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see
All
you.
right.
Bye.
Huge.
Enormous.
All right, so
we just have to call him all the time now because AI.
So I would say that Shamar,
But I did see it.
You were right. Yeah, Shamar Stewart has all the cards.
All the cards.
Yeah, he can just train for a year.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, he probably wouldn't be drafted at 17
Maybe not.
if he doesn't play football for a year, and he obviously would have a full year of not playing football and not getting closer to his second contract. So
Or-
he doesn't have all the cards.
He could train to become a flag football athlete and play in the Olympics next year. Or whatever it is.
I think the Bengals will ultimately relent, and we side with Shamar Stewart in this. It
Yeah.
seems like the Bengals are trying to be shitty.
I think that the Bengals, they paid a lot of money to a lot of players this offseason, and now Mike Brown is like stressing out. And he's like, we got to start cutting corners wherever we can.
We got to make sure that if anything happens, we don't have to pay any money.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's allergic to paying.
Yeah. You mentioned something on that call with Florio about Deebo.
I did.
being fat?
Well,
What?
there was you guys teased it before we started recording the episode.
I don't
which is
remember
okay.
doing that.
Yeah, you did. You said Deebo's fat.
I actually have never said he's fat. I said I saw a video of him.
I was met with PFT earlier, and he walked in the room and said, "Do you think Deebo's fat?"
Yeah, the only person I think who's said Deebo is fat is Max.
Which was usually an indication that you think he's fat.
I don't think. I actually don't know because I don't spend my time staring at Deebo's ass like you guys do.
I just said I saw a video of Deebo.
Yep, I did too. It's called an installation. Who do you trust more when it comes to breaking down NFL news? At ML Football or
Tom Kleiman
or Greg Kittle?
Yeah. Listen, I don't know if he's fat or not. Max?
I never said specifically that he was fat. I just referred to him as Fat Deebo.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
He's
Technically, you didn't say he was
fatter.
fat. You just said you've got fat Deebo.
And we're pulling up the Hindustan Times now.
I also.
How'd you end up here? No, stay on the Hindustan.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
That's good.
The Hindustan Times. Okay.
But the other receiver, he's back, right?
Doesn't matter.
Terry
Yeah,
McLaurin?
first reported here.
Well, guess what he's doing? He's staying in shape on his own.
Good.
Do you think he's getting fat too, Memes?
Maybe he's seeing Deebo and he's like, I got to keep up by getting fat.
No, here's the thing. Deebo is not fat. He's in great shape, and that was just an installation route that he was running. I also don't think he was that slow. I think that was some monkey business with the camera angle. I think they did him dirty with the cameras on that one. And then I saw the Commanders made sure to put out videos of him today looking fast and svelte. And you're going to get, you know what? Even if you get, I hope that Deebo's fat, and I hope that he's still awesome. Because fat Deebo running through everybody would be even better than skinny Deebo.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Fat is power when it wins.
However he feels most comfortable in his body, that's what I'm comfortable with.
That's good. PFT, because I didn't want to have our NFL talk be slanted just to talk about what Max called Fat Deebo. I also wanted to share with you, I saw a 2025 QB countdown, top 10 QBs.
Okay.
You want me to share it with you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Where'd you see it?
This is from Chris Sims.
Okay.
Number 1, Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Interesting choice.
All right, yeah.
But can't really.
Yeah,
I mean,
in
he
the
was
MVP
awesome last
conversation
year.
all the time, yeah.
Number 2, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Number 3, Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Number 4, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Number 5, Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Number 6, Matthew Stafford. Number 7, CJ Stroud. Number 8, Justin Herbert. Number 9, Baker Mayfield. And number 10, Jalen Hurts.
I like that list. I've always said that he's got great info when it comes to ranking quarterbacks. Listen, that's pretty much.
Oh, we put him under the category "The Truth Hurts."
That's exact. Oh, the truth. That's not good.
That's bad.
That's bad for number 10.
Wow.
Pocket Rockets is Justin Herbert and Baker Mayfield. Okay.
Surgicality.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Surgicality?
It's like strategery.
Surgicality. I thought that was a singer from System of a Down.
And the core 4. Max, would you like to comment on that?
I mean, Chris Sims is literally the dumbest guy in NFL news or NFL analyst. So, like, him being this wrong on a take is actually a good thing for Jalen Hurts.
I think he's pretty good when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks.
He's had some good. He's had some
not.
high make. He's had some like good predictions.
Yeah, really good.
No, he hasn't.
Really
I think
good.
I'm pretty sure he had Josh Allen top of that draft. I don't know what else.
Big blind spot for Blake Bortles.
Yeah, that one he was wrong about. But yeah, I mean he's had some hits.
Yeah, listen, I think that's a great top 10 list right there. Did you see the guy that played his newborn son 54 minutes of Jaden Daniels highlights?
I did.
It makes me want to have a kid just
Yeah.
so that I can play Jaden
Another
Daniels.
one?
Another one.
No,
Chris needs a little
Chris.
brother or sister.
Chris can play it for him.
Yeah.
What is it, playing newborn? Oh, he's just finding us the clip we just talked about. Zach is good on the keys.
I've watched this same video, the one that the baby watched. I've seen this video 3 times this offseason in its entirety.
All right.
Great security.
Because
Oh no! What happened there?
That was my bad. It was the video. I didn't think the audio would go through. That's totally my fault.
Okay.
do you think Deebo's fat?
No, I'd like to see more angles.
Even
I'm not going to judge someone off of one angle. I'd like to see more angles. Bad angles can happen.
people are clip farming off Deebo at like the sideways / back angle that you see some of the stomach in the front. You see the big ass in the back. He's not fat.
Can I
Deebo's not
say
fat.
there might be an adjective that he might be that's worse?
What's that adjective?
He could be slow.
Hey, Max, pull up your Twitter right now. Pull up your DMs.
My DMs?
Yeah, I sent you a DM in case Big Cat said something mean about Deebo.
I just was asking.
Because I didn't know if this was real or not. I didn't know.
I was asking if he was slow.
I didn't know if this was real. But is this the cover of Madden
Is
for
it
next
Deebo?
season? No, is that the
That's
cover
not,
of Madden?
That is not the cover of Madden.
I think it is.
You know that's not the cover of Madden.
It's got the Madden
What's
logo on
the
it.
picture?
That's right before the Hail Mary against the
Saquon
Bears.
Barkley's actually on the cover of Madden.
Because I thought this says NFLPA and rated E for everyone.
It does look like
I
it.
thought this was the cover.
It does look like
of
it.
Madden.
It does look like it, but that is not before the Hail Mary.
Deebo's not slow. That was an installation.
I
procedure.
asked if he was slow.
They were installing his route.
He
Also,
could be.
Also, everyone who's going to just send screenshots of how fat I am, all the Commanders fans, just so you know, I know that I am like 10 times as fat as Deebo Samuel.
We got our own fat Deebo here.
Just making sure I put that out there.
It's more like 2. Come on.
Stay out of this, Hank. This is now a 3-way battle
Yeah.
of a Mexican standoff. This is good. Just a little sparring, getting us ready for football.
It's fun. Fat Deebo rolls off the tongue.
Fat Deebo, listen.
You have to admit.
I agree.
You have to
PFT,
admit.
I'm going to defend you here. Fat Deebo sounds a lot funnier than slow Deebo.
Yeah, it does. And what I'm saying is if he is fat, in fact, if he's big and he's still awesome, that's the best case scenario.
Correct.
That's what I'm rooting
fat,
for.
When you win, fat equals power.
Yeah. If he's scoring touchdowns and running people over and he's fat and his belly's poking out of his shirt,
Yep.
and he's like, he goes to the sidelines and he's got like mayonnaise on the side of his chin, like that's awesome.
Agreed.
And I'm fatter. I'm much fatter. I'm very fat.
Way fatter.
Maybe
Wait,
faster.
I am.
Whoa.
What?
I said, but maybe faster.
No.
Deebo?
Maybe.
Deebo's not fat, man. He's not fat.
Agreed. Except for fat. I'm gonna. Fat Deebo does sound fun.
You,
to say.
you got this.
I
Did
like
all
Fat
start
Deebo.
from 2 days ago when Max just out of nowhere goes, "You got Fat Deebo."
Well, we were talking about Terry McLaurin and whether you're gonna have Terry McLaurin. I was like, at least you got Fat Deebo.
Yep.
Okay, let's get to our interviews. We got Blake Griffin talking some ball, and then we've got Owen Wilson talking about his new show, Stick, on Apple TV, and then we will finish with Fyre Fest. Okay, before we get to Blake Griffin, we are brought to you by our friends at Truly. Truly Unruly Lemonade combines the high alc fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. Lemonade let loose, 8% ABV, 100% delicious. 4 supercharged lemonade flavors: Bumpin' Blue Raz, OG Original Lemonade, Punched Up Pineapple, and Wild Pink. Listen, it's about to be a great summer, and it's about to be a truly unruly lemonade summer. It's perfect for being outside in the summer. Got a truly unruly lemonade in your hand, golf course, beach, backyard barbecue. It's all there. I'm gonna probably barbecue this weekend. I'll have a truly unruly lemonade in my hand, wild pink, no big deal. It's absolutely delicious, 100% delicious, 8% ABV. What are you gonna have?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mow the lawn this weekend.
Yes.
And there's no better lawn mowing beverage than Truly.
That's a fact.
I'm going to drink the Truly Unruly Lemonade as I'm buzzing the tower on every blade of grass. I'm going to have the Bumpin' Blue Raz.
Oh, love that. Hank, what do you think?
I think I'm going to be on the golf course drinking some Bumpin' Blue Raz.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I feel like you're a punched up pineapple type of guy.
I'm everything.
Okay.
I'm all
Well,
the flavors.
It's the official hard seltzer, pardon my take. Level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly this summer. Let's make this summer unruly with Truly. Go check it out now. We're also brought to you by our friends at Chevy. Listen, guys, we're sponsored by our good friends at Chevy here for over a century. Chevy has been building trucks that don't flinch and never quit. Whether you're hauling lumber on the job or trying to get the smoker, the cooler, the cornhole boards, and the whole crew to the tailgate on time, Chevy gets you there. When Chevy says most dependable truck, they're not just speculating. Chevy trucks have earned more dependability awards for trucks than any other brand, according to J.D. Power 2025. Sounds like they have the stats to prove it. Draft yours at Chevy.com. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard. For more on Chevy trucks, visit Chevy.com and visit JDPower.com/awards for more award details. We're truck guys. We're Chevy truck guys. So go right now. Draft yours at Chevy.com. Because in every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard. That's the guarantee with Chevy trucks. So for more on Chevy trucks, visit Chevy.com. Okay, here he is, our good friend, Blake Griffin. Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very very special guest, one of our best friends, three-time Blake of the Year? Four-time Blake of the Year. Takies are coming up in about a month, but we want to talk some ball with our guy, Blake Griffin. First of all, Blake, how are you doing? How's life? We miss you. Just in general, we miss you.
I miss you guys too, man. It's been a while. I'm good. Just kind of hanging, enjoying retired life.
Yeah, no, I mean, we bought a football team together.
That's right. We bought a football team in Mexico. We're 5-1, by the way. I don't know if you guys have followed.
You're damn right we are.
Fuck yes.
We've got an exciting team, and things are looking up.
Love that.
Yeah, that it starts at the top with ownership.
Yeah.
And so you have to set the tone. We're an accountability organization, and the players are responding. So credit to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to say to the team?
Vamos.
I would say good job, team. When we finally do sign the paperwork, actually owning it, and it's not just a press announcement, then everyone's job is up for grabs. Dog eat dog. Yeah.
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 I'm also gladiator style. After the season's over, we throw even the equipment manager. Get in there.
Yeah.
Oklahoma drill, everybody.
Yeah, every spot is up for grabs. I'm kind of a hands-off owner. I put my football guys in position to do football work, and I let them cook. And I think they're doing a great job. I've seen a lot of shitty owners over the course of my career as a sports fan. Blake, I don't know if you've ever played for any shitty owners, but hypothetically, if you had, would you have learned a lesson from that owner in terms of how you're going to translate that to football?
Yeah, I think one lesson that if I had played for a bad owner, one lesson I probably would have learned was always know if someone's recording you. Mm-hmm. Just because as an owner, you don't know. There's in this day and age, people can record on anything.
Yep.
So I don't know. It just seems like something an owner should keep in mind, and also maybe don't. Or maybe I guess secondarily, don't say anything racist.
Yep, those are good points. Also, if you're doing a sworn deposition and somebody asks you about your handwriting, don't talk about getting your dick sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you in a limo?
And it does make me feel good when she kisses on me.
It's sort of a loophole when you're in a limo. It's like being over international waters.
That's true. That's right. So what are you up to these days? I know that I read an interview, I think it was in USA Today or something, where you're talking about what you have planned for this upcoming year. You want to share that with our audience? Where can they find Blake Griffin?
You can find me on Amazon Prime Video on the NBA. We will have we'll start out Friday nights. We'll have some Thursday night games after Thursday night football ends. We'll have some Saturday games. Not sure if I'm supposed to give out that information, but I think I can.
I read it online today, so you can say it.
Yeah. Okay. And who are you going to be with?
Dirk Nowinski.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Udonis Haslem. Taylor Rooks is our host. Steve Nash will be in and out. He'll be doing some of both. Candace Parker. We got a good group. Got a really good group. Kyle Lowry is going to be that one. I don't know if that one got announced. Damn it.
I didn't read his name, but exclusive to Part of My Take, Kyle Lowry is attached to it.
Yeah.
Well, he's like player correspondent, maybe in some capacity. I don't know. We've been talking about it. I don't think just like you guys haven't signed the actual ownership paperwork. I don't know if he's actually.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Are you going to be? Are you the Charles Barkley of this crew?
Yeah, probably very little analysis and a lot of just digs at players. I'm just going to be making fun of everybody.
Yeah, that's actually, so you retired 2 years ago? Do you think that's enough time to be back in my day? Listen, we played in the real NBA. This is bullshit now?
Yeah, absolutely. And every year my career will be a little bit better. Sure, this first year I'll be humble and this guy was really good. I played against him. By year 5, I will be one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that was that happened with Kendrick Perkins when he said he would shut down Jokic, and then they found clips of baby Jokic, 19 years old, just dominating him. So just maybe you float it by us first, and we'll try to find it. We'll have our research team be like, can we find any clips of Jokic fucking Blake up? And then we're like, no, you know what? No clips exist. Go for it.
I think the only way that Kendrick Perkins was a Jokic stopper was they saw him on the schedule and they're like, "Oh, you don't need to play tonight. Kendrick's starting." Like, he didn't want to play. Shut him down.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the old head Blake Griffin on the set. Unc, can we call you Unc Griffin?
Oh, yeah, call me Unc. OG. No, I guess Udonis is kind of OG. Yeah, just call me Unc. Dirk is Van Wittgenstein or something, I think. Is that in the literal translation to German?
Right? I don't speak German, but that
sounds right.
I'm going to look it up, and I'm only going to refer to him as Uncle in German.
Do you want to do some practice for some hot takes? So like we can just do like a quick role play. Imagine that this last season happened next season, and the news comes through. Luka has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Luka Doncic. What's your take?
You know what my take is? I think that there was a deal done under the table, and I think Dallas knew that they were going to get the number 1 pick because the lottery's rigged, and we all know that. And I think that, in the grand scheme of things, Cooper Flagg has a chance to be an unbelievable player, and you sort of have to make that deal. You shake hands and you say, "Thank you, Luka," but with the emergence of Cooper Flagg, we're all good here.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good hot take. All right, here's another test.
And that one, actually, can I just give credit? That one was giving credit to Colin Cowherd when he said, "Hey, LeBron, we're good." So he's an inspiration. Skip, some of the greats.
Yeah. All right, here's another one I'll throw at you. We're in a debate. I think Patrick Beverley is a Hall of Famer.
I actually do not disagree with that at all. You look at the scope of work.
Yep.
I wasn't able to follow the games in Europe early on. And then I did see part of his career in the NBA. Also, just the way he took players under his wing. It matters how you treat the younger guys. And selflessly, like when he fired that ball at that lady's head in Indiana and then got it back and did it again, he was saying, "You know what, guys? I'm going to remove myself from the league.
Yep.
So now these young guys have a chance to play." And that is a Hall of Fame career, if I know of one.
Also, in defense of our guy Pat Bev, I don't think he played with any Hall of Famers.
Like guys that are in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, or no, like guys who might be in the Hall of Fame. So it's like
James Harden.
Giannis.
No, I don't think those guys are Hall of Famers.
You think Giannis is?
No.
I put Pat Bev chances at like a 54 to 56% of making the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah. And by the way, by the time he's done with this season of his podcast, it could be 99.
That's true. That's true. Did you talk to Pat at all after that? I feel like Pat.
I have not.
That was sick. Come on, Pat. That was like. Maybe Pat doesn't know that you're our guy, but I didn't appreciate that from Pat.
You know what? It's okay. I mean, you got. I mean, you guys don't really have to do this, but podcast business, you got to give these hard takes. Paul George is a really good player. He kind of came at both of us there, and I don't know. I mean, Pat's obviously a legend of the game, and he's obviously grown the game and made it what it is today. And I respect his opinion. I think I agree with him. I think he probably gets the nod over myself.
Yeah,
I have you in the Hall of Fame, Blake.
I do too.
That might just be me.
Oh, can we get Basketball Reference updated to have it be 4-time Blake of the Year up there?
They should
as part of his accolades.
Do they have a fun nickname for you, or is that just Pro Football Reference that has nicknames that no other website ever has even thought of?
No, I think there's nicknames on Basketball Reference. I just don't know what mine is, to be honest.
All right, I'll tell you. We got him here.
I love those nicknames.
Brother Taylor Griffin. That's it.
Oh no, I don't see.
That's it.
No nicknames?
No nicknames.
No.
Do you have
other guys do?
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname?
I don't really. People would call me just Griff, BG. This is one of the Clippers announcers one time. I think he was trying to get something going, and I had this dunk, and he goes, "Oh, the Flying Lion." For some reason, that one didn't pick up.
I'm looking right now at a Reddit thread said, I've heard him called Blake the Snake, and then that guy said he's also going to do a grassroots nickname for Blake Gryffindor.
I don't
you Harry Potter guy?
Yeah.
That one didn't really stick.
Yeah, I mean, that one didn't really stick either.
Blake Superior.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Easy Blake Oven was an early one that didn't catch on either.
Yeah. Oh, Flop Griffin? Oh, that was mean.
That
all right,
mean
never
one.
mind. Are you just reading your tweets?
No, here. Oh, someone emptied the clip. Quake Griffin, Earthquake Blake. That was stupid. Wake and Blake. Must See BG. This guy sucks at nicknames. Optima Prime. Oklahoma Hammer. Blake and Eggs. That one guy on the Clipper who dunks a lot. Sky High. Dunkadelic. And that was it.
I mean, I feel like we've heard them all at this point. I actually kind of like Blake and Eggs.
Yeah, I kind of like Blake and Eggs, and I kind of like Earthquake Blake because that's just stupid.
Yeah, crazy.
Earthquake
Just Blake of the Year. Have Basketball Reference put Blake of the Year on there.
Yeah.
4-time Blake of the Year.
4-time.
Talking about this actual NBA Finals, can the Pacers win this thing? It's crazy. I think that I'm officially now like Pacers can and maybe will win this thing because I've doubted them. I didn't doubt them going into the final or like leading up to the finals. I loved them in the Eastern Conference. I definitely doubted them against the Thunder. I thought the Thunder were better. I thought the Thunder, the way they've beaten teams, like they're just a superior team. But after game 3, it's like maybe all of the guys on the Pacers, they don't feel the pressure. They all contribute. And they have so many options that it feels like the Thunder do not have that.
So I doubted them as well. I doubted them in the Cleveland series. I doubted them I thought the Pacers could beat the Knicks, but I thought the Knicks were going to beat them. Also, the Pacers have not lost game 1 until Thunder. They hadn't lost game 1 or 2 all of playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were just running through the tape. And 2 of those series were on the road. They went to Cleveland 1-2. They went to New York 1-2. They went to Oklahoma City 1 game 1. Like, they're playing with so much joy. Rick Carlisle is a genius. And then also you're just watching like a team who like everybody just like accepts their role. Not because it was like, I mean, maybe it was, but not because Rick Carlisle was like, hey, you can only do this and you can only do this. They don't play like that. They play free within their roles and they don't try to do anything else. Like they know who they are. And also they don't care what the score is.
Mm-hmm.
They could be down 20, they could be down 15, 7. It does not matter. They don't stop playing. And I thought that Oklahoma City maybe was woken up a little bit in game 1 where they're like, hey, we cannot take our foot off the gas until, the starters come out and the game is truly over. But the Pacers are doing something incredible. It's a shame that people probably aren't tuning in as much if it was like Lakers Celtics or something, but like, it's incredible basketball to watch.
Yeah.
What are the Pacers doing differently on defense? Because going into the series, the entire story was Oklahoma City's defense, which is incredible. It's a historic defense. They played really well all season, but last night especially, the Pacers just made them uncomfortable all the time. They were getting into passing lanes. It almost seemed like they were forcing them into making these bad passes that they were anticipating. So, from your perspective, like what changed? What have the Pacers done?
I just thought they ramped up the pressure. First of all, they have unbelievable individual defenders. They have an unbelievable rim protector. Their schemes on SGA last night seemed like they were taking opportunistic times to double. You could kind of see anytime SGA kind of had it and he turned his back, I'm assuming that like when you can see the back of his numbers, guys had the green light to just run and double and then scramble around. But what we're also seeing in the NBA right now, which is exciting to me, is like the days of like 2 superstars and a really good player and then kind of peppering in some guys who can just maybe shoot or do this. Those are kind of over. Like all the good teams now, everyone on the floor can shoot, dribble, rebound, pass, defend to a certain extent, right? Like even like Obi Toppin, like who you would say is probably not their best shooter of the guys they play. He was 5 for 8 from 3 in game 1. Like, guys can do everything. You can't have weak links on the floor. You can't have guys that a team can single out on defense and go at them every time, which is fun to see, like sort of that change in the NBA where it's like, oh no, everybody on the floor is really, really good.
Yeah. The other thing I was wondering about this, and maybe you can explain it to me because you obviously played for so long, but Chet Holmgren, box score, if you look at the box score, didn't watch the game, you're like, oh, he had a pretty good game. I think he had like 20 points and 10 rebounds. But if you're watching the game, it is like a big deal that he is like so skinny. And Miles Turner was kind of bullying him in the fourth quarter. Can you feel that like weight when you go up against a guy who's 30 pounds bigger than you? Is it is it a situation where you right now, like you just feel it and you're like, this is going to be a long night. I have to figure out something else? Because it does feel like he's in a little bit of deep water when he goes up against someone who's 30 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah, I would just say, like, in the playoffs, obviously the physicality goes up each round, really. For Chet, like, I would say, like, if I was his teammate, I would just talk to him about, like, hey, what are your strengths? What do you do best against Miles Turner? Like last night, he got a 3-point shot blocked, and then he tried to chase it and get into the lane and like get into somebody's body. Like, we're not doing that. We're getting space. We're creating space. We're just taking easy floaters. We're not trying to get into the people's bodies and get close to the rim. He's so skilled. I love his game. I think he's a great player. And when you're young, like he's in his second year. Like he's figuring it out, and he'll get better and better. Like this isn't like a huge issue. And we do this in the playoffs because there's a lot of time in between games where like a guy will have a bad game. You're like, this guy just can't do it. He can't do it. But like, I think he'll be better next game. If you've seen like the other series, like he's made adjustments from game to game really well, and he's done his part. But yeah, I mean, you do feel that 30-pound difference, but just stick to your strengths. Don't get outside of those. Be exactly who you are.
And it's a really good point about Chet because he, like, people who will criticize him and be like he's in over his head are also just failing to be like, hey, he's a major contributor to a team that's in the finals. You know, like
they're the best team in basketball.
Right. They won what was it, like 64 games or something? Yeah, something crazy. So that didn't happen by accident. He's just now the stage is a lot bigger, and they are a young team. And I feel like the Thunder just need that like second guy to step up more. And SGA did not have a good fourth quarter either. Like he was not. Yeah. He either has to be Superman or someone else has to be his Robin to his Batman at the end of games.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for the first time they played on the road in like kind of that environment, first time they played on the road in the finals. First of all, is like it's different. I mean, I never did, but from afar, it's different. But like that's just like the playoff atmosphere, like on the road for some of these guys. It's it's a little tough, but like they bounce back, they win game 4, they go home, they win game 5. Like nobody's having some of these conversations that people are having today about some of these guys.
Yeah. Do you think maybe SGA needs to step up the embellishment a little bit? As a guy who was known for flopping, I mean, your nickname was Flop, as we saw earlier. Should he take acting classes? Should he really crank it up in game 4 coming up?
I'd like to see him implement some WWE tactics, maybe, to put tape over a cut, and then when he gets fouled, rip it off, there's blood coming down. I want more from him, more theatrics. I actually like, people talk about his like selling fouls and stuff, but like, he also is so good at it. Like, and he's in control of his body so well that he like feels something. He's like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then the other guy presses one step too much. And it's just like, to me, it's not like crazy flopping. He's just very good at putting putting himself in the right position to get a foul, which is it's a skill, to be honest.
It is an art form. Like he has taken it to an incredible level. He's very good at it. He's also very good when he doesn't do that. And I think he's a great passer too, when he's just like calmly taking it through the lane, looking for guys. You played with some guards that were always looking to throw you lobs anytime you were close to the basket. Was there one guy that would just surprise you that you'd always have to be on the lookout for? Like, I have no idea when the ball is going to be lobbed up in the air and I have to jump and go get it, but I need to be 100% ready at all times.
I've always said, man, Baron Davis was like a master at like and he would just let the ball fly. Like he would 3/4 court, didn't matter. He would just let it fly. And they were always pretty good passes. Obviously CP is one of the best of all time. But like Baron is kind of like that name that would really surprise you, of like a guy who just like can throw unbelievable lob passes, and he'll try anything.
When do you guys ever talk about when you're in a playoff series? We always joke like a must win, can't lose. Do you think like being down 2-1 is there any talk being like we got to win this game? Do you guys do must win, can't loses?
I don't think you'd want to say like we have to win this game, but like the sense of urgency is going up. Like it's understood. Like you all know that we're down 2-1. Another home game for them. Like, got to go win this game, but no one's saying that like, hey, we got to go win this. I don't think. I think it's just completely understood, and guys just know exactly what it is.
I feel like I would have to tell everyone it's a must win
Every game.
Yeah, it's a must win.
Every time out.
Yeah,
Yeah, must win.
Every time down the floor, just yelling at the bench.
Must win this possession. Must do it right now. I got a weird question for you. Your former teammate with the Nets, Kevin Durant. I feel like he's back to fighting people on Twitter. And I think it's a lot of people just looking for a reaction from him. But I do also feel this weird tide shifting where people are trying to diminish his accomplishments for some weird reason, maybe because he went to the Warriors and everything. You played with him for a season. You went through wars with him in that playoff series where you guys went to Game 7, the toe game. How good is Kevin Durant? Like, does he? I feel like he's become underrated now after maybe being a little overrated.
Yeah. I mean, well, according to some, he's probably not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No, he is the most unaffected basketball player by a defense. Like, there's not anything you can really do to like affect his shot. Like, he'll get to a shot. He might miss, but he'll get to it. I don't know. Like, I don't know how people feel. I do think that people kind of go at him for going to the Warriors and those are his 2 championships. But like, look at like the scope of work and look at how he does it and look at like how easily he does it. He's insanely talented, and like he really like basketball is like that's his thing. He loves it. So I don't know if I could say he's underrated, overrated. I'm assuming that people are just like looking for things to talk about. But I mean, my whole thing with some of these good players, when people start to like pepper them, same thing with Jason Tatum. Like, Jason Tatum is unbelievable. People have not done what he's done at his age. And it's just like, they're just like, you can hate on him for anything off the court, whatever you want. But like, you can't deny how good guys are on the court. Yeah. And I think that people, for some reason, they like let that like tout their like view of them as players. And also they don't appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? They like cheapen it where they're like, instead of talking about Jason Tatum, the basketball player, they'll talk about his aura and like try to diminish him because of aura.
Those people are idiots.
Yeah. Morons. We would never do that.
No, it's all, definitely.
Yeah, we wouldn't be like, oh, he laced up his Timberlands. He's got no aura.
I heard,
like, dude, come on. We're talking about hoop here.
This one guy was like, he didn't even win the MVP of the finals last year. He's not the best player on his team. It's like, dude, this person has never watched basketball in their entire life.
You're a moron. I hope that guy doesn't have a microphone.
I mean, they just give everybody microphones.
Yeah, right.
And people say whatever they want. Not us.
Not us.
But I do think they say it to Kevin Durant more because he is active on X.com, the everything app. And so he will fire back at people, which makes you feel important for a day if he responds to you. I think if he was still burner KD, which I'm kind of glad that he moved away from the burner and is just now saying everything with his chest. But if he were doing these replies in the burners, I don't think that as many people would be going after him at all. I think it'd be a completely different story. They just want Kevin Durant to know that they exist.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a lot of people just trying to get a response. But I also think he's so funny on Twitter.
Yes. Oh, so funny.
The things he, like, especially when he says stuff at Perk, is so funny.
It's also, I have a little sympathy. Obviously, Kevin Durant's like such a massive name and way bigger than anything we've ever accomplished. But I do think that it's bullshit that if someone like a Kevin Durant responds to someone on Twitter, everyone's automatically like, you're triggered. It's like, can we not sometimes just respond to people? Like, that's the point of Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
He just wants to get in the mix.
He should just start replying by video and just saying his responses on video and kind of do it with like a smile, like throwaway thing. And then people won't be like, you can't say you're triggered if you look like you're not triggered.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
So
like,
maybe,
really happy.
Maybe you go to video responses.
Yeah. The problem is with the internet is the minute someone calls you triggered, it's over. Because if you say no, I'm not. Well, that response is triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they got you.
Then you got triggered by somebody calling you triggered. and nobody wants.
Yeah. So it's a trigger inception.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I do have a question about the finals. So I've heard a lot of people on TV say that role players play better at home. In your opinion, is that an accurate statement, or is that just something that sounds nice that you can say after the home team wins?
I think that's accurate to a certain degree. There's some guys who like love going and playing on the road. Role player, star player, doesn't matter. Like there's some guys who just thrive on it. But I would say the majority of role players are more comfortable at home. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What were your thoughts on TJ McConnell last night? On a scale of 1 to 10 on a blue collar meter, would you put it at like at 11, 12?
A blue collar meter, TJ McConnell, this whole playoffs is operating at just finished a shift on a construction site, going straight to the bar with his boys, staying out all night, going and doing it again. It is a pleasure to watch that kid play basketball.
Yeah, like a coal miner out there. At one point, the camera caught him, I think, just screaming out, "I'm a dog." I don't know if that's – I think you can do that if you're coming off the bench. You can be like, "I'm a dog." If you're a starter, somebody that's supposed to be a dog already, I don't think you get to yell that out loud. But when I saw him do it, I was like, he's right.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? The word dog is thrown around a little bit too much these days. You know what I mean? Everybody's got that dog in them. The truth is we can't all have dogs in us. Then we're not special. You know, and we throw that around like it's I don't know, give me something that's very common.
I agree with you. You should have to start specifying breed. Like you should be like, I'm a Labrador. I'm a bulldog. Yeah. You got to do that.
Today, I played like a poodle. Yeah. But you know what? The other day, I was full Rottweiler.
Right.
And by the way, guys, like when I was with the Celtics, I was more of a St. Bernard. Yeah. I was carrying water. I was giving guys some water. I was looking out for people. Yeah. Rescuing people lost on the mountain. You know? But back in the day, hey. Greyhound? I don't know. Something cool.
Yeah. Pitbull
maybe a
action?
breed I don't even know about.
Yeah. What was Pistons Blake Griffin? What kind of breed would you have been on that squad?
Just kind of your everyman, your every dog. Just did a little bit of everything. A little seasoned. You know, the hip dysplasia started to set in.
You were Air Bud. You were like Air Bud 3.
Yeah. Air Bud tendinitis years.
Yeah.
You know?
Were you happy for the Pistons to finally win a series? That was pretty awesome.
I was, man. I really I love Cade Cunningham. I think he is like a joy to watch play basketball. He's just like, he's kind of like Kawhi in the way where he's just kind of like, just so smooth and always just kind of on this line, not like game wise, but just like it feels like he doesn't really get flustered and he just makes big shots and the camera goes to him and he's just kind of like, yeah, I got it. But it's fun to see them, and they're like a great young team. JB is a great coach. Like they're gonna be good for a while.
And by the way, people are gonna jump on me. They didn't win a series. They won a game, which they hadn't won in a while. I think they're going to win a series next year. Like, I think they're building something. Yeah.
That's the progression, for sure.
Yeah. Like, you go through the wars. Is it so people got mad at me because I kept on harping on that with, like, the Rockets this year. Before the playoffs started, I was like, oh, the Rockets are going to be dangerous. Like, that's just not how the NBA works. You have to go through the wars. Did you feel that, like, as a young player, like you have to take your lumps? There's just something different about playoff basketball. You can't it's not just like, oh, we're a young team, we're going to win, we're going to beat everyone.
Yeah, for sure. My first playoff series was against Memphis. We happened to beat them in Game 7, then we got swept by San Antonio. The next year we lost to Memphis. Then the next year we finally broke through. We beat the Warriors, and then we had the Thunder down, and we fell apart, lost to them. And then you just kind of keep getting more and more experience. You also obviously keep getting better as a player. But yeah, you're so right. Like it's hard to just like take that jump from like never winning a playoff series to like Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like even the Thunder last year, like they lost to Dallas in the second round. Right. And now this year, like they went through that experience.
Yeah.
And they're a better team for it.
Pacers went to the Eastern Conference Final last year. Like that was, I know they got bounced. I think they got swept by the Celtics, but like that had to be experience that they could draw on when they were going through this year.
100%. It's crazy that they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they're in the finals this year, and they're still kind of like not talked about.
Right. Yeah.
And now, obviously, now in the finals, people are, but it's just like one of those teams where you didn't hear about them all year.
Do you know what I think it is? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. I think it's just based on the fact that Tyrese Halliburton doesn't score 30 points a game. I think not having a guy who's like a 30-point game, or whatever, call it 28 points a game, your best player not being one of those like prolific scorers just has people look at you differently.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably it. I mean, people always say the small market thing. Like, I mean, that team is just like so solid from top to bottom. So solid. The guys they play, so solid. I think you're right. I mean, he's not like one of those like crazy flashy. He'll have these big games. He'll hit these big shots, but like they're not one of those. He's not one of those like go get you 30 every night and like it's a spectacle, you know?
Yeah, or like an automatic 25 where it's like, oh, okay, well, Luka or, you know, a Tatum, all these guys or Jalen Brunson, like no matter what, they're just going to get 25 in a playoff game. Tyrese Halliburton does have games where he scores a little less and everyone's like, oh, well, how are the Pacers doing this?
I do think that some of it's also the fact that their leading scorer, I believe their leading scorer is Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
And
who's awesome.
Who's awesome.
That's a dog.
And he won a championship.
Yeah.
But he did it on what a lot of people would say was like a boring championship team.
Yeah.
And so if it's anybody else that would go to the Pacers, by boring, I don't mean the team was boring. I mean that
Kawhi Leonard's boring.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is boring.
Yeah.
And it's a Canadian team. So like to most of America, we're just like that never happened. But the fact that he's their leading scorer this year, when I think if he came from any other team and had that championship pedigree, I think that it would be looked at like, wow, the Pacers just got a superstar.
Yeah, I mean, they got a very, very, very good player in him. I think he's maybe not this year now that he's doing this, but like I think he's been pretty underrated for a while. And then after Kawhi left, Toronto had some down years where it was just kind of like they were playing some games that weren't in the playoffs every year. But he's nasty.
Yeah, yeah. When was the last time you picked up a basketball?
Not too long. I don't go play pickup, but I'll shoot around with my son or something.
Do you ever have do you ever be like, I could go play pickup and just dominate? Because I never understand that, and maybe this is just obviously I'm not an athlete, but if I were that good, I would just go dominate people like at the local Y, or like a baseball player like going to play softball and just hitting fucking just bombs off everyone.
Yeah, with as many injuries as I had in my career, I feel like if I just look at a pickup game, I'll
That's fair.
ACL. Yeah. So I'm just kind of, I'm enjoying not having surgery the last couple of years.
That's very fair. Has Joe? When was the last time Joe Mazzulla texted you, asking you to come back, or just texted you in general?
I don't remember the last time we texted. I talked to him not this season, the last season. A couple of times throughout the season, and it was my time. Time to hang it up. But I love Joe. I love that like he's got like an identity now with like an established identity. He's always had that identity, but established identity with the media. And I love it. I can't wait to see what he's going to say next.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fact that he's a psycho, but he owns it. He's like,
yeah. Would you guys ask him about how many times he's watched The Town?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he had like a straight answer, like twice a week. He honestly watches it twice a week.
Yeah, or the time when he said, I think it was after they won the championship, he like wanted to like rip apart his house because he wanted to like go back to his roots. He's like, I want to just take this door down.
He bought a house with his wife, and his wife wanted it because it's a beautiful home. And then they moved in. And he was like, I want to destroy this house because it's too comfortable.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that guy, yeah.
All right, I got one last question. Roback question, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE. Important question. What are you doing to get ready for Blake of the Year? We're getting close. We're a month away. I think Bortles is going to be hungry.
Yeah, he's going to be hungry. I mean, he's a tough competitor. Brooks, he's going to be hungry as well. He wants a chance to get on the board. I mean, this is arguably one of the best times of the Blake of the Year. Just because you got a lot of, there's a chance for parity. There's two dynasties kind of going up head to head, and sometimes people overlook the other guy, and that other guy right now is Brooks. And I've just been doing a lot of Blake things. And just focusing on myself,
I think in Blake,
control what you can control.
In Blake of the Year, you have to learn you have to go through battles. You have to learn how to lose first, and then you improve year after year. I think that's exactly where we are with Brooks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And take it from me, that it was heartbreaking when I was serving my country playing for Team USA and I missed the call that first year, and I had to watch for a year as Bortles paraded that thing around all year long. And I just kept, I just kept my head down and I said, you know what, you were doing the right thing, wearing the red, white, and blue. And next year it'll be your year. And I just kept being a Blake.
Yeah. How's the golf game?
Not good, but we're having fun.
When you say not good, this is I've noticed this. All former athletes they'll be like, I'm not a good golfer, and then you'll be like, what's your handicap? And they'll hit you with like a 6 or a 7. Like you're playing fun golf. What's your handicap?
I'm not single digits. I'm like a 10 right now.
That's pretty good.
That's still fun golf.
Yeah, what? I've gotten to the point where it's like I'm not going to like completely embarrass myself. I'll have some horrific shots here and there, but like. You generally know. I know what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Just sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It's a skill set that you have to have after you retire because people will just pay you to show up at their tournaments now.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good life.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Oh, I do want to apologize for one thing. Would you have attended the Bet Gala?
Yeah, I just got the invite a little late.
I texted Blake and I was just like, I can't remember. I think I was just like, oh, we have this thing. Or I asked him like if he has this date open, and he replied, and then I was like, I basically like chickened out because I was like, I don't really want to invite him because he's gonna be nice because he's nice, but I really don't want to invite him because it's also like a commitment to fly all the way to Arizona. So I asked him for the date, and he replied, he's like, yeah, I'm free. And then I didn't say anything, and then like 2 days later, he just wrote back like, okay, cool. And I was like, fuck, I fucked that up.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe next year.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
I just got to nut up next year. I got to get the dog in me. I was being a little chihuahua.
You're being a cat.
I was being a cat.
You're being a cat. Got to be a dog.
Yeah.
Big cat.
Yeah.
A big cat. Because of the nickname.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's why you're fucking on TV now. That's why you're doing Amazon Prime.
That's why he's Blake Gryffindor.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Blake, who do you have in the finals? Official prediction.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma City still.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna stick with my original prediction. I'm not gonna change after a 2-1 lead. I'm gonna say Oklahoma City. They got to win game 4. Then it's a 3-game series, and 2 of them are at home for them.
Sounds like it's a must win.
It's a must. Guys, it's a must win.
Oh, Blake, you're the best, man. Thank you so much. We miss you, and we'll see you soon.
Miss you guys. Thank you.
Blake Griffin was brought to you by our great friends over at Mountain Dew. Baseball season's heating up. Summer in Chicago, here in full swing. Beautiful outside. Great times to be outdoors. Great times to be under the sun. Great times to be working up a sweat and taking the edge off with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know what else is going on in Chicago? We got day baseball games. The greatest place to watch a daytime baseball game, maybe in the world. Chicago, Illinois. Nice and hot. Love drinking an ice-cold Mountain Dew if I'm at Wrigley Field. Love drinking an ice-cold Mountain Dew if I'm out on the golf course. I'm going to be spending some time at the lake. I'm bringing a full cooler of Mountain Dew with me. You got to do it up, and then we've got Camp Barstool coming later. And that I just remember drinking ice-cold Mountain Dews like 4 times a day after every activity.
The best.
Nothing goes better than hanging with your friends than the refreshing citrusy kick of Mountain Dew. And they got these new cans. They're beautiful. It makes me want to go spend some time on a mountaintop. They're retro. They just look delicious. It's the most delicious looking can in the world. Grab a Dew in the new packaging. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick. Check it out, Mountain Dew. Grab one today. Blake was also brought to you by our great friends over at State Farm. In basketball, the great players don't just do it alone. They have teammates, coaches, and a solid support system behind them. It's kind of like insurance because, let's face it, a lot of us probably aren't great at doing that alone either. And that's where State Farm comes in. State Farm is a teammate always ready to assist, help you find the coverage that you need, and help you recover from the unexpected. From fender benders to storm damage or even just a question about your policy, State Farm is there to help provide and assist when you need it. Through the State Farm mobile app, a network of 19,000 local agents, and online at statefarm.com. So don't just go it alone. When you need help protecting what matters most, State Farm is there. State Farm with the assist. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state. And now, here's Owen Wilson.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest. It is Owen Wilson, one of the best actors out there. And he's got a new show out on Apple TV called Stick, which I've watched the first 3 episodes. Awesome show. Very excited about seeing where it goes. It is the story, Owen, a former golfer, pro golfer, kind of fallen bad times and then finding a kid prodigy that he's going to coach. And 3 episodes out right now. They come out every Wednesday on Apple TV. So, Owen, let's start with Stick. First of all, I read everything about it, how you basically like had to learn how to play golf. Your brothers played golf, your dad played golf. You didn't really play golf. Did you get good in learning this role?
I was already sort of, and I remember when I met Morikawa, and he said, "What's the best club in your bag?" And I said, "My putter." And I had always done I'd have kind of putting matches with my dad, and so I was already, and that ends up being almost half the game. So I'm okay, pretty good putter, and then it's just kind of figuring out the other part. And some days I have it and can do okay, and then other days it's like I feel like I've made no progress.
Yeah.
If you're playing a golf teacher and a golf guru, can you give yourself advice from that point of view?
Well, it used to seem more like magic when I hit a good shot. Like, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a little bit of an ability to sort of self-correct while I'm playing. You have to be careful of too many swing thoughts. But my brother always saying, relax your grip. And it is one of those kind of counterintuitive things that I think makes it so hard with golf. The more you kind of bear down and grit your teeth and like, I'm going to just crush it, you can be sure you're not going to. So it really is kind of relaxing. And that's probably why golf, they say is kind of a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
I was kind of kidding about it. It seems like the metaphors for life are always things that are really hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's never like, walking in the park on a beautiful day is a great metaphor for life. It's always something that's struggle and that a lot of failure. But hey, that's because that's what it can be.
Yeah. So in getting ready for this role, did you play a lot of golf? Because that seems like a genius move by you. If that was maybe consciously, like almost like when Adam Sandler does a movie, he's like, we're gonna do it in Hawaii, so we all get to go to Hawaii. We're like, hey, I'm gonna play a golf pro, and I'm just gonna learn how to play golf. So every time I golf, I'm technically doing work.
Oh God, I was saying that, just this weekend I was playing and I was saying, well, I'm working. They go, but the show's already done. I go, it's never done, because I'm going to have to come on and press. So I would kind of joke around with my brothers. Like my dad would just get such a kick out of the fact that I kind of got paid to learn how to play golf. And that now I was just in Australia and I went over to this course in Sydney that's like their Pebble Beach. And, they were welcoming me there. So it is really nice that I got to do this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if this hits like we think it's going to hit, you might just be known for the rest of your life as a golf guy. They'll get you out to tournaments, be like, "Hey, Sticks here. Yeah, we're gonna have it's Cahill," and you'll get to just kind of like show up doing golf events and playing golf for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know when I was working, I love that city, Paris. And I remember when I was working on this movie and Midnight in Paris and thinking like, I hope this, does okay, because it would be nice whenever I come here to, sort of be connected with that. It would be nice if that were to happen with this, that I could go to some place like Augusta and maybe be welcomed.
Yeah. Yeah. When you are making a movie or a show, do you intuitively know like this is going to be great, or has there been any time when you've done the movie, you're like, this is great, and then for some reason people watch it and they're like, we don't really like it?
Oh, yeah, I would say and I've talked with other actors, you never know. And you wish there was more of a correlation between having a good time and how it turned out, but there isn't. And it's just hard and it's just kind of out of your control. Some things just seem to connect with people and a story, and then other things just kind of miss. But I mean, you know what it's like when you're flipping through the channel. Like there's some movies when I'm flipping through that if it's on, I always seem to kind of like, I love that movie, The Town. And it's like, I'll be going through, that's on, or Heat. Yeah. I end up watching the whole thing. It is obviously, it feels great when you work on something that does connect, because, you're not making it in a vacuum. You're making it with the hopes that that people respond. But I do always say that it's a little bit like, I love school. I just didn't like getting grades. My parents would get mad. So I love kind of making stuff. I don't like when they come out and like, it's like getting grades.
Yeah, and then you have movies that are such hits that like Wedding Crashers was that stretch of comedy. I feel like was kind of the pinnacle for, especially we were at time and place. I was in college. Do you though ever thought, like when it came out, did you ever think, I probably have so many copycats now that are crashing weddings? So I remember guys would be like, let's go crash a wedding. It's like, well, that was a movie. We don't have to go crash a wedding.
Yeah, and then the crashing funerals that that Will Ferrell. I remember, going to see Animal House with my dad and him loving that movie. And there's that scene where they go to the women's college to get some dates, and they show up and they saw that somebody had died in a kiln explosion, and they're kind of pretending that that's who they're there to go on the date with. And I think that led right into that sort of idea in Wedding Crashers for Will's character. But that movie, I think when we were doing it, I know that Vince and I felt like we were having a good time with David Dobkin. Obviously, that one, Vince is so great in that. And I always think kind of, there's some people like Jack Nicholson, and I think Vince is like this, that if you saw them, just in real life and, they weren't a movie star and you just were around the guy at dinner or at a bar, you'd be like, God, I met this incredible guy who was so funny, like we all do.
Yeah. I would say Jerry O'Connell's that kind of guy for us, right? Like everyone's got a Jerry O'Connell story. You meet Jerry, instant magnetism, can't get enough of the guy.
The and remind me, Jerry.
He was the fat kid in Stand By Me. He's married to a supermodel wife, Rebecca.
Okay,
Romaine.
but he was also in Jerry Maguire.
Yes, yes.
He's a good friend.
Kangaroo Jack.
Right, he played the quarterback.
Yep.
In that the
Cush.
Yeah. So
that's a good story.
Great guy.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
We love Jerry. He manages our fantasy football team. Oh, co-manages our fantasy football team. In Wedding Crashers, there's the iconic football scene, and then I read that you played flag football right after that movie came out, and your coach was Urban Meyer. So Urban coached you up on the football field?
Yeah, he did. I can't say he coached me because I don't think he identified me as one of his star players on that team. And I think I was sort of more of an afterthought for him because he'd kind of give a couple of guys like, routes to run. And then I'd say, what about me? And he'd say, I just want you to split right and just run your ass off. But there are some coaches that, you connect with and then others you got to kind of prove yourself. And I think by the end of that game, I did get an interception that Urban was happy with. The thing you could also tell, because the other coach of that game was Bobby Bowden, and he wasn't really taking it seriously. He was just having fun. But Urban Meyer, you could see this is a competitive guy, and he wanted to win that game.
Yeah, he is a very competitive guy. I have a question. It's kind of a weird question. Is it weird as a 40-year-old man if I came up to you and I said, hey, Owen, I loved you in Cars? Is that a weird thing? Because my kids love Cars. They love all three. But would it be weird to be like, I actually also loved you in Cars?
No, I one time got a nice note from Alec Baldwin because he's got a bunch of young kids and, they watch Cars and there's something about kids where they haven't watched a show once till they've watched it 50 times. So said that my voice is just sort of there in their household as Lightning McQueen. So one thing that is odd is that now I'm meeting kids for I don't know when the first one came out, but those kids could be
19
now
years ago. Yeah, so they could be in their 20s.
Right. So like a 10-year-old or something, that now I feel like I'm recognized. It's funny to say recognized for an animated movie, but I am. I went to the Rolling Loud Music Festival and I had, people in their 20s saying Lightning McQueen and Ka-chow and stuff. And it's odd because those would have been the same kids that, 20 years ago, their parents would have been saying, this is Lightning McQueen. And the kid would have just been staring like, what are you talking about? That's not Lightning McQueen.
I'm going to tell my kids tonight that I interviewed Lightning McQueen today.
Yeah, you
and they're
talked
not
to a
gonna
car
believe
today,
it.
Dad? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
What a
very
cool job.
cool.
Well, tell him I said ka-chow.
I love it. I love it.
I read an interview that you did where you said that some people say that you've spent too much time watching sports in your life. What's too much? How much sports do you watch?
I just, I feel like during like football season, it's just kind of unbelievable now, kind of. Well, I mean, you're always going to watch, the Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, and then there's going to be, a couple on Sunday. So, and then there's college. So you're just putting in a lot of time watching. And then I'm not in fantasy football, but I'm in a league with, like 8 friends where you pick games, and that can get very competitive. And but I don't consider it, I was joking about that finally doing this golf show, it gives me a thing to be able to say, oh, that wasn't wasted time. It was all feeding into playing this character. But I never really did consider it wasting time, because you could say anything's a waste of time. I don't know. I love watching those ESPN 30 for 30s. I love watching those football lives, the baseball films. I just was watching, the Fernando Mania one, and it brings back, memories of Sports Illustrated was a big thing when I was a kid, and like my dad getting that. And I mean, there's, I think, a reason why sports salaries just keep going up. It's because you can't duplicate that kind of, excitement and drama that you saw just as recently with Rory McIlroy at the Masters. I mean, how much of, a feeling did that give you that day watching it? I mean, that was brutal. I wanted him to win so bad, and 3 different times I gave up on him. Well, that's it. It's over. And then when he finally wins, it didn't look like somebody who had won. It looked like torture, like he had just been through a gauntlet, which of course he had. So, I mean, I guess that's just what makes, sports so watchable, or just the tennis open that they just had.
Yeah.
5 set where, and I actually, even though I like Alcaraz, I bet on Sinner to win, and I've got this. Well, no, you don't have it.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of, because a lot of times that kind of, it's, I think we love stories, and so that was a great story we watched on Sunday between those guys, and you don't know how it's going to end, and it's got you on the edge of your seat. And that's what any good book or movie or TV show is trying to deliver, and that's what sports just has.
Yeah. So who are your teams? Who you root for?
I root for the Red Sox because even though I grew up in Dallas, those, my parents were from Boston and my grandparents, and those were the first games that I went to. And then the Cowboys, huge. I was very happy to see the Dodgers win the World Series, and we went to that victory parade downtown. But I've kind of, we didn't really grow up with hockey. My older brother, his last 2 years of high school, went to Massachusetts and played intramural hockey, and said, had we grown up in a hockey place, he said, it's an incredible sport and we would have played. But I get into watching, hockey now too. I think that's like, even if you were sort of, someplace like England, you spend enough time and there's, nothing else on, you'd start to get into cricket. It would just happen.
I got a question about Wes Anderson. Your partnership with him, obviously, all his movies are iconic and great to watch. And you've known him since your days in college, and Bottle Rocket, and all throughout all of them. When you're filming it though, what does it look like on set? Where it's like the end product's going to look so different and visually appealing in this unique style. Does it feel different on set when you're doing a Wes Anderson movie?
Yeah, it definitely feels different. First of all, just the way you're making it feels different because everyone's living in the same place and you're all having dinner together. And it ends up being just kind of a nice sort of way to make something because you're sort of like a little family. Usually, when you're making, a movie or show, people have their trailers and you're staying in different places. And you might not, see much of each other than at work. And that's not the way it's happening on Wes's movies. And even something like, you do kind of hair and makeup, and then throughout the day on a normal movie, they're coming up and adjusting things. They're coming up once at the beginning of the day, and you kind of get your own sort of wardrobe ready, and then the rest of the day, there's no sort of interruption. So it is kind of a unique experience making one of his movies, and I think that's probably why he's able to get all these great actors that want to be in it, because it's not like they're maybe getting paid the way they might on another movie. It's because they want to be part of that experience. And again, back to what we were saying, if you have a chance to work on something that connects with people, that's a great feeling. And if you're doing one of his, your chances are maybe better.
Yeah. I mean, they are great movies, and they are iconic. What is the worst pitch that you've ever gotten for a movie? Like the easiest no that you've ever said?
Well, I can't even say just dismiss something out of hand as a, bad pitch. Somebody was just saying, and I think they were sort of kidding, what about you and your brothers playing the Manning brothers? And they were just kidding. Part of me's like, yeah, I'd like to do that. And I'd like to be Peyton. I feel like I connect with him as a middle brother. So I think they were sort of joking, but I kind of am like, maybe there is something to that.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
I would watch that too.
The problem is, I think everybody would want to be Peyton.
No, I don't think so. Cooper is, he's a great character. He, might be the funniest of the three. And he has a great story. He was a great, college player, and then, had some sort of health thing. So that's kind of a moving, character arc. And then Eli with those, two for two Super Bowls, taking down the Patriots. You telling me you don't want to play that character? Come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat on the bone. I would watch that movie, for the record.
Yeah, and then let's go to the patriarch, and then we also have a role for kind of a, the hotshot rookie with Arch now at UT.
Yeah,
I'm in.
How's your relationship with the word "wow" been over the years? Has it ebbed and flowed where people? I would imagine there's probably was a time where you're like, all right, enough. I don't need to hear people say this to me on the street all the time. And then you get to a point where you're like, all right, it's kind of cool that I'm recognizable and I've been in people's brains at some point.
Well, I think you just nailed it. Exactly what you just said. Sometimes first of all, I wasn't aware of it till it was sort of, I think it was already sort of an internet thing. And then I remember the first person kind of showing, and they were a bit tentative, I think, because they're sort of, how would I react? And I didn't realize, obviously, that I was saying it. And now I definitely am a lot more careful. But if I did have to pick a word, that's not a bad word to be associated with. And I remember Beck did a song called "Wow" a few years ago when they were talking to me about coming out on stage. So
if it makes you feel better, someone did the math. You've been paid $1,300 per wow.
That's it?
Yeah, really? I guess so.
Yeah. Well, then I sometimes will get sort of not bitter, but I'll sometimes think, I wonder if some of these internet people doing this, they can't find some other words that actors have said a lot. I bet there's a lot of other words.
That's a fact.
Saying.
Yeah. No, but you're right. Well is a good one.
Yeah. But somehow I was about to say it. Be careful.
I know that I've noticed that you don't want to say it, which I completely understand.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Said it. I did say it once. That's how aware of it,
Yeah.
Just said it when I said, Beck has the song, and I'm like, okay, then they'll add this to the list now.
It's spelled W-O-W. Yeah.
And a lot of times, actually, they'll have it sometimes, when I'm doing like a voiceover or some animated thing, but I've changed it from that into whoa. So.
Oh, if I heard you say
That's
whoa in person,
smart.
I would actually be furious in that moment.
yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, what is whoa?
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with him? All right. Well, Owen, I have one last question. Again, everyone go see Stick, Apple TV. It's awesome. New episodes every Wednesday. My last question, rowback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. So in Stick, you have some celebrity guest appearances. Our good friend Max Homa, you have Colin Morikawa, who's been on our show, great guy. Is there a specific golfer that you now are rooting for? Because golf is one of those funny sports where guys kind of root for, like, they don't really have maybe one person they ride with, like team sports. But is there one person that you like going forward? You're like, I'm really rooting for that guy now.
Well, they talk about, like, didn't they say like the Sports Illustrated jinx? Like, somebody could be on the cover and then not do well. Well, I've noticed that, gosh, all the guys like Keegan Bradley, he's doing great. And Morikawa, and then Max was just, doing great. Wouldn't there be a great thing if it was like the opposite, if there was like the stick bounce that some of these guys got. So I'm rooting for all those guys to do well. And then, Rory was kind of, like I said about that Masters, I wanted him to win so bad, and was so happy with that. But I definitely now pay attention. And it's funny, we were talking like Max, just right when I met him and when he did kind of the scene, he has kind of a funny energy. And that guy kind of has a quality, back to how we were kind of talking about, like, yeah, that guy just kind of has something that's kind of comes through, and is very comfortable and natural in a way that you like to watch.
Yeah. We love Max. I feel like Price Cahill could help Max out right now. Like get him in the zone. I feel like that's a good combo. Because Max is such a good guy, you can't help but root for him once you meet him.
Yeah. Move over Manning pitch, and we might have to move into the Price and Max Homa teaming up.
I like that.
I like it.
Price Cahill, by the way, is a great alias.
Yeah.
Do you have good aliases like when you go on the road? Because I feel like you just burned one with Price Cahill.
Yeah. Price Cahill is like, somebody was saying the other day that had to have been a real golfer, and they were looking up because it sounds like the ultimate golf name. But no, I think the Ramones, like they got their name because that was Paul McCartney's name that he would use at hotels, was Johnny Ramone, and that's how they kind of got their name. But no, I've never had like an alias that I've used.
No, you're Lightning McQueen. You don't need an alias.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Owen, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it, and great show, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Owen Wilson was brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. We got breaking news. New combo alert. New combo alert. Pardon My Cheesesteak has a brand new combo on its menu. Introducing the big one. An original classic cheesesteak, your choice of our brownie bites or donut dippers, and a drink, all for a discounted price. Max was just saying he loves big ones, right?
I absolutely love the big one.
Perfect for your game day meal or late night eats. Pardon My Cheesesteak offers a wide variety of cheesesteaks, loaded fries, and popular desserts, all delivered right to your door. And the big one, you get the classic cheesesteak, your choice of the brownie bites or the donut dippers, and a drink, all for a discounted price. It's a great deal, pretty much a 3-course meal. You got your cheesesteak, your dessert, you got your drink. Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com, order with code PMC20, get 20% off. That's promo code PMC20 for 20% off. And then Fyre Fest is going to be brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, we all know that life comes at you too fast. 1 minute, something's going really, really well, and the next, boom, unexpected disaster. I think you might hear one or two of those in Fyre Fest coming up in a second. When you find yourself in the middle of your very own Fyre Fest, you just might need America's largest injury law firm in your corner, because at one time, you might be having a great evening playing a video game with your friends, and then the next second, boom, you get pub stomped by a Sharknado with the boys. And all of a sudden, you can't do anything about it. That happens in real life, too, not just in video games. And when it does, you call Morgan & Morgan. They've been fighting for the people and helping with your Fyre Fest for over 35 years. With Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started, and their fee is free unless they win. You can check them out at forthepeople.com/PMT. That's thepeople.com/PMT.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We got Fyre Fest of the week. Henry.
Yeah, another great week. I do have a Fyre Fest, but this was one of those weeks we talk about how fake life of a job it was. Mm-hmm. This week, Monday, we golfed.
Got a dog.
We golfed, charity golf outing, Stella Blue. Tuesday, we woke up. We came in dressed up as the fruit from Fruit of the Looms for a commercial.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was ridiculous.
Yep.
Wednesday for work, we went fishing for 4 hours.
Yep.
And tomorrow we're waking up and playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty good. I was actually
put it that way. Yeah,
it's just a preposterous week.
I was very tired on Wednesday when I got home, and I went home and I acted like I just got out of a shift at the coal mines, and I put my feet up and I let out an audible groan, oh, it's so good to kick my feet up for a second, and then I thought of the itinerary of what I did that week to make me tired, and I was like, I'm not actually tired.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, no, my biggest complaint this week was that I just forgot to put on suntan lotion when we fished. It's like, man, this is tough. I got a little burnt. Mm-hmm. Good life.
Yeah,
we're
life.
Very appreciative of the life we have.
Great life. And at the golf outing, I was chopping it up with Jersey Jerry before, and he's like, "Oh, look at this broomstick sweeper putter I have," and I, was like, "Oh, I'll post a video of it." People, the golf purists out there hate, people using the sweeper putter. Understandably so, it looks ridiculous, especially for someone who's as bad of a golfer as myself. But I was like, yeah, I'll use it for the video. It'll be funny. It'll get people riled up. And then I was putting as good as I ever have, and I've just been wrestling with myself on if I'm going to actually use it in real life. I feel like I have to, but I know, understandably so, people are going to be like, that guy is the biggest douchebag of all time.
Let's make a pros and cons list. Pros.
Good at putting.
Maybe.
You might be better at putting or good at putting?
Putted well once.
Yes.
Okay.
Could be the difference. Maybe.
Any other pros?
No. Cons. Douchebag. People notice you from far away, on other greens, being like, who's that douchebag? Mm-hmm. Who's that douchebag?
Pro, engagement whenever you tweet videos of yourself doing it.
That's true.
Yep.
Con. People might think that you're really short using a regular size putter.
That's not a problem for me. Yeah, that's not a problem for me.
Hypothetically.
I don't ever really think about and people are going to think I'm short if I do X. Mm-hmm. But
that was
same.
Projecting there.
No, same.
Con, people, if they don't think you're a douchebag, they're going to assume you're a good golfer.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to be good with that.
Right.
You cannot break that up and 3-putt everything.
Right. But I at least have to feel it out. But it's we got the Ryder Cup coming up. I just don't know. I don't know. That's the worst part of my week.
How good were you with it?
Really good. I felt as confident as I ever have putting, and I hit some really good putts.
Mm-hmm. PMTV coming out today.
Yeah, PMTV coming out today.
So is the
Big Cat hit a 40-footer with it?
I did.
Is the broomstick putter? Is that for players who are young in their primes?
I think it's just they invented it. It's for people when they're going through with the putter. It's try the broomstick.
I think people who just suck at putting, they get better with it.
I've always thought for olds.
No, I think it does make it so there's less you
for not breaking your wrist.
Yeah, you can't go crazy with it. You just do it yeah.
You don't break your wrist.
It's very
easier to have a straight line on the ball.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to use it Friday. And we'll see from there.
You're going to experiment?
What's Friday?
I'm golfing. It's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, yeah. This is your birthday episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You're getting older. You're using the senior tour putter.
It has nothing to do with age.
What if I need you for the yak?
You just saying it it's my birthday, as if you weren't going to golf tomorrow, regardless.
Well, that was defense. That was yak defense. That was yak defense. I would say if you need me for the yak, it would be my birthday wish if I could not.
Your
attend.
birthday wish. We should all get birthday wishes on this show.
Yeah. Okay. So Fyre Fest is just you're found a putter that you're awesome at putting with.
Yeah.
But it makes you look like a douchebag.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. PFT.
I was gonna say my Fyre Fest is that Hank is turning 32, so that makes me old.
Yeah. That's
I mean, every year Hank gets old. That's really when I feel old. I don't feel old at my birthdays. I feel old at Hank's birthdays.
Yep, there was a 7-year. Someone posted I think Big Cat posted the 7-year anniversary of the Obgyn.
Oh, yeah.
clip. That was like 7 years. Holy fuck. Well, here's a fun fact though. The job of a male Obgyn
OBGYN
is to mansplain.
Oh my God, Hank.
Oh, it's OBGYN.
Yes.
obstetrician gynecologist. Yeah.
I mean, how the are you supposed to know that they didn't put any periods in between the letters or anything?
When was the last time you got your pap smeared, Hank?
Hey, confirmed. Hank does not have a vagina.
Anyways, the job of a male
very unhealthy one.
Obgyn is to mansplain women's bodies to them. Therefore, their job as guys on chicks, Big Cat and PFT, are practically doctors. So
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. I'm an Obgyn.
Yeah.
we're getting to that point where it's like that was X years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like the 10-year of us at the Blackhawks Lightning Stanley Cup final fighting the hot dog. I was like, shit, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And when that happened, it felt like we had been doing a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. 40 is the new 20 when it comes to romance because you've got time, wisdom, and experience on your side. Ooh, good job, Zach.
That's good.
Nice. Your 40s come with a certain type of confidence in who you are that can't be emulated in your 20s. So, Hank, congrats. You're 40.
32.
Oh.
And at this stage in life, you're feeling out what makes you feel like a man. Now you've got the long putter, and it's Pride Month, and you should feel happy about experimenting with that.
Mm-hmm.
Love is love.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Putts are putts.
my other Fyre Fest was just going to be that I've had an all-time week of bad fits. Big bad fit week.
Is this just you're just trying to get a compliment?
No, of what?
Your fit today is phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. No, I was actually not fishing for a compliment there. I was just saying I've had some bad fits this week, hand up. I got roasted by Max on Monday because I was wearing the wildest. Admittedly, it was a wild outfit. It was piecemealed together as I was in Milwaukee, and I had a what's that, Max?
Technically, I didn't roast you. I just said you were wearing an outfit that you normally would wear, and I liked the outfit.
Yeah, it was. This is the most PFT outfit of all time.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, it was a compliment.
I said I love that PFT threw out this first pitch in the most PFT outfit of all time.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
There's no roasting in there at all.
That's a compliment.
They kept just adding layers to it that they would give me. They're like, here's a jersey you can put on. Okay, here's a giant straw hat.
The hat was
giant
perfect.
straw hat that you can wear. And then Big Cat shared with me that his daughter might have thought that I was a woman the other day in a picture.
Yeah. I showed my kids.
Well, that has nothing to do with the fit.
No, that was just looks.
It was just looks,
yeah. I showed
it's kind of
I showed my daughter a picture of PFT and I on the boat for the fishing tournament, which will come out I think in July. And she was just like, "Oh, you went fishing with our nanny?" And I was like, "Nope. That's my friend PFT. You've met him many times."
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, the hair was down. It was blowing in the wind. I get it. I looked hot.
Yeah.
So I can see why you might be like, okay, yeah.
In my house, the only Barstool people that are recognizable for my kids are a great trio: Stu Feiner, Max, and Jerry.
Yeah,
those are the three
very
that get
recognizable.
asked about all the time.
Although I did hear a story from earlier today that Megan brought her kids to the office and they thought you were Rico.
Yeah, and then Megan was like, "You're gonna get me fired" to her son, and her son. I was like, "No, you're not." Her son started to freak out. That was like, "Oh my God, mom just lost her job."
That is the funniest mistake to make though for Big Cat. Be like, "Oh, it's Rico Bosco."
It's Rico.
Is this the guy that found my phone number and is getting mad at me for surviving?
All right,
that calls the schools.
Yeah, that was very funny. All right, my Fyre Fest. I am currently trapped in my own personal Barstool After Dark episode, and I don't know how I'm going to get out of it. So, for people who don't know, our Barstool After Dark, great series that Tate does, and it's basically It's torture. It's punishment. You can't.
You lock yourself in hell for
challenge.
12 hours.
Yeah, he and Oldie did. What was it? 12 hours at a golf course trying to get
2 bunker shots.
2 bunker shots. Why are you Googling Barstool After Dark, Zach? I know what it is. No, but so anyway, I got a new basketball hoop for my kids in my backyard, and it's able to go down so they can actually make shots now. My son has taken a liking to basketball, which awesome. Like, so pumped for it. The problem is he every day, and this started on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was, he wants us to make a certain amount of shots, and it keeps doubling.
That's good.
It is, but like tonight, I'm about to go do 80. I don't know. 160 is going to be daunting.
Well, at some point,
and then doubling it again. So I'm just in a Barstool After Dark challenge.
Well, you can start explaining,
we got 40,
though.
no problem. It took, a little bit of time, but we got it, no problem. But and he said, like, when I dropped him off at school this morning, he's like, we're hitting 80 shots. And I was like, yeah, done. I don't know what I'm going to say with 160.
At some point, the math is going to become
start turning
too
points.
complex for
Every
you.
shot's worth X point.
True. But he really wants to hit 80 shots, and we're going to hit 80 shots. We're going to do it.
That's good.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's the doubling forever that's going to be a problem. We're going to just have to figure out how to maybe come back down and land on a number that we can hit all the time.
Or you just have a prodigy.
Introduce the concept of the
That's
three-pointer
true.
zone.
That's true. He could just be a prodigy. I'm going to probably say no, but maybe. Never know. What is it? 10,000 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by next week, we will have to do 10,000 hours to hit the, 20,000 shots he wants to hit.
That's like the Beatles had 10,000 hours of practice or something like that to
Yeah.
achieve mastery.
Yeah, I'll be there. We'll be there in no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Zach, you have Fyre Fest for us.
Yes, sir. I've got a quick one. It was just going to the costume store earlier today.
What happened? This is for what reason?
Dungeon and Dragon costumes, to be specific.
Okay.
So I was tasked with going to make sure I get you guys the correct costumes, right sizes, a good look, good costumes. We made it to the Chicago costume place. Shout out to Max for driving. That was awesome. He's great behind the wheel. What happened? I just had some oversight. We get in there. There's way more costumes than I first expected. And so that almost led to no costume. Like, it was so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot on those. I don't know if have you ever been there?
Yes.
I've been to a costume store, yeah.
Insane amount of costumes going on in a Chicago costume.
Well, it is a costume store.
2 levels. There's a second floor.
Yeah.
How many costumes were you anticipating?
Maybe like one wall, maybe wall of wigs, wall of costumes.
Like when you go to
Spirit Halloween.
Yes.
Where do you shop for clothes?
Clothes usually either Amazon or
Let's say you go to the Gap
or a gas station. Yeah.
Significantly
Oh, wait,
smaller than the
Were you
Gap.
about to say a gas station?
Just for T-shirts sometimes. That's it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Respect. Sorry
They're
for cutting
cheap.
you off there. But like you go to the Gap, are you like, this is just too many jeans?
They only got like 4 or 5 different styles. Costumes. Each costume is a specific style. So it's like going to the Gap and seeing 1,500 styles of pants.
Okay.
Fair, that's
How
fair.
long?
Yeah.
How long did you spend at the costume store?
It had to have been like 35, 40 minutes. It was
Oh,
a while.
they're
we're
saying
getting
more.
I think it was. I think we had 52 minutes.
52 minutes?
We're there way too long. I had a timer set to make sure I was going in and out quick, but then I had to put my phone in my pocket because I was holding the costumes.
We didn't get the first costume until minute 35.
What happened between 0 and 35?
We did leave it open-ended for him.
I know, but like you could have just grabbed anything.
I didn't want to mess up open-ended, and then I picked up a few. I went with a theme. And
a
then
costume would have. You can't, as long as you get a costume.
Yeah. We can't
That
be
fits the
upset at
open-ended
you.
bill.
So you had to go. You had to pick the theme first, and then you had to pick the costume for each person under that theme.
I was thinking theme a couple times, but then we're going size bound. So then we're like, well, we got to make sure we have enough that means that the people can get into the costume. So that was a couple.
He got
themes
too
got
stressed
talked
out about the theme. So at one point, I did give him the guidance of like, just so you know, there doesn't have to be an exact theme.
Okay.
We do.
There almost never is.
Yes, that's kind of what I said.
That was
Yeah, I
good
mean, the only
advice.
time we tried to do a theme, we actually screwed up and got our communication crossed, and we all were Shredder, and Hank was
At least
Michelangelo.
theme locks it into 4 to 6 costumes that that's probably all in the same row. Once you open it up to individual costumes, then we're back to all 1,500. We're hitting the vintage underneath. We did leave with the right amount of costumes. I just don't know if you guys are going to like them, but we'll have to. is what it is there. What's done is done at the costume store. If I could have gone back, I would have done some more planning. And I'm sorry that we had you guys there longer than expected. There was also a cat, so allergies are flaring up. It was a whole thing. I feel terrible about it, but luckily we left with 6.
Are you confident heading into tomorrow?
I'm excited.
Are you stressed out?
I'm not confident in the costume selection to be.
Can you give us one costume you picked up? Don't say for who, but just say one costume.
I got a Ringo Starr riding being a professional bike athlete.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Ringo.
It's not that bad. It's just
Ringo Starr.
It's Ringo Starr if he entered the Tour de France. That's not bad. It's easy. It's easy.
Okay, that's the easy one.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
That's my favorite one.
That sounds like PFT.
No, I was gonna say it sounds like Hank.
There's one that's someone's not that I don't think someone will be happy.
Okay.
That's me.
That was
I'm not going. I cannot confirm nor deny.
That sounds like Zach was looking at some costumes, and then Memes was like,
and
you know what would be perfect for Hank?
No.
We filmed the entire thing. We gave him no guidance, and
Yeah, right.
In my defense, I didn't
He
realize
was
that.
probably just pointing the camera like.
Wait, if
we did that with Max in a Snorlax costume.
If Max and Memes weren't there, Zach, would you still be in the costume store?
Hopefully not, but I would have probably been there for a little bit longer.
We definitely would have. Well, the other thing was we had an interview at 2:30, and that's when it was like me and Memes kept going like, "You're good. Like, take your time. And then it came down to it, and it was like, if we don't leave right now, we will be late. We will be late for this interview. The interview started at 2:30. We showed up back here at 2:27.
Oh my God, Zach.
It was bad.
It's all right.
It was good. It ended up being very good.
There was a misstep in the costumes that I didn't quite realize until we were in the car on the way back, though. So that's on me.
What was the misstep with the costumes?
We'll talk about that's the one. That's the
we'll
one.
have to workshop that later.
Someone may be.
Okay.
Someone may be unhappy.
That's the one that Hank's going to be upset about.
Well, thank you for going to get the costume, Zach.
Another
welcome.
great teaser for D&D.
I appreciate the task.
Yeah.
D&D.
D&D.
Well, D&D episode will come out week of July 4th. So get excited for what costumes we have.
And how's the diet been going?
I re-downloaded Fitness Pal. It hasn't been going good tracking the calories. So we're in the right direction.
That app sucks.
You become like a servant to it. It's like it controls your entire life. It's terrible. It's so bad.
And everything has way too many calories. That's when I found out grapes were carbs.
What did you track?
Just a sausage and pepperoni pizza.
Full pie. He was like, I put it in the full pie. It was sad to see how many calories are in a full pie.
But it's good to remind yourself the next day how much you ate. Like, hey, fat ass, don't do that again.
Yeah.
You have to log them.
How many calories was in that?
It was like 2,700 calories in the pie.
Put that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll know tonight to eat better when I pull it up. Like, oh, you did the pizza yesterday.
It's like, are you sure?
When was the last time you pulled a Zach?
What day was that? Going into probably 4 days ago, I hit the McDonald's.
You hit the Zach. I think that's got to be once a week.
It can't.
What?
It can't. My pant, man. I'm just running out of clothes. We can't do it.
Once a week, hit the Zach.
You want? No, I can't.
What?
I'll hit it.
Yeah,
hit it.
I do have to say one thing. This is more of a PSA of a personal Fyre Fest, and then we can do numbers. I have become allergic to my own dog, and it's a huge problem in my life.
Oh, you're going to Lena Dunham?
No.
Oh.
The dog is staying, but if there's any recommendations out there, I would love to hear what I can do.
Benadryl?
Benadryl, you can't sleep.
Now, this is an
to
interesting turn of events because I think it was just Monday that you were like, Hank is the only anti-dog person on this show.
No.
And you were like, I'm pro-dog. I have a dog. And that happened right after?
Wrong. This is...
Your entire body is anti-dog.
I am so pro-dog.
It's in your blood.
I am like... I have just accepted for the rest of my life that I'm walking back into a prison of allergies.
Are you getting itchy? Are you sneezing?
I'm sneezing a fuck ton. My throat... So in this... There was a cat at the costume store, and I was having an allergic.
Wait, so this cat took down 2 members of Pardon My Take?
No, it was just me that was having the problem with the cat. But
wait,
Zach started to feel really bad because I started to get super allergic to the cat at the costume store.
Oh, Zach, I thought you were allergic to cats.
No, we were just in there way too long, and then his allergies were flaring up, and the cat was like, it was upstairs, it was downstairs, it was free roaming, and then I could just see his eye, I could see his face, but you just getting destroyed by the cat.
You definitely made it seem like you were having the reaction of the cat.
It was me.
You just took that bullet for Max. You're a good guy, Zach.
Yeah.
I felt terrible for his allergies. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's just my life now. So I just bought like a fuck ton of air purifiers for my apartment. If anyone has any tips of what, because I'm obsessed with my dog. There's no, that is not an option of not having the dog. So I need to figure out solutions to not be a prisoner inside of my own home.
I got one.
What?
Don't be a pussy.
I know. Every single day I get home and I like start crying of allergies, and I'm like, stop it. Just be fine. And then I'll literally get so allergic, and I'll be like, this isn't a problem. And then I'll go like snuggle with my dog and put my face like on my dog's.
Yeah. And
then it'll be a huge problem. But I'm like, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
All right,
I've
so
accepted the
you're
fact that
actually
it is a
handling it
problem.
like a man. I appreciate that.
What if you shave? Give it a haircut.
Oh.
Shave the dog. Bald. Bald Billy.
Grooming, I have thought like maybe like a shorter haircut.
What about if
all
you
the
shave?
hair?
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Well, no, because you get the dog hair caught in your beard, so
Nope.
maybe just a soul patch.
That has nothing to now. I thought I was gonna get good tips. Now everyone's just gonna tell me to shave.
soul patch. I heard no one with a soul patch has ever been allergic to a dog, but that might be AI.
But also,
We should
I
call
never was
Florida.
allergic. I never was allergic to this dog, and then summertime, and now I'm allergic.
Yeah, you might. I don't know, man.
Maybe you need to get
Tips.
You
I
might
need tips.
You
I
might
need
need to
tips.
get more dogs.
Oh, yes. Beards can sometimes enhance allergies by trapping allergens, but only if they're not kept clean. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That means I just have to wash my beard more.
Yeah, or shave it.
I
And
think
do a soul patch.
most people
Nope.
would say shave.
Nope. No.
Think
no.
about how easy it would be to wash your soul patch.
Any like real AWLs out there who don't want to. Real tips would be appreciated.
Real tips only.
Real tips.
Because I'm just at the point where now I'm just spending. I'm just spending.
Okay, so we need, all right, so just in summation, because we're going to do numbers in a second,
Yeah.
but we need real tips only for Max's allergy problems and no pictures of him being fatter than Deebo.
Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be a bad. I'm not gonna look at. I'm not gonna be online tomorrow.
You set yourself up twice. Oh, all right. Numbers.
3.
Oh, I think that was Hank.
Your birthday wish.
It's birthday boy.
My birthday wish, I'm going to use it in advance, is for Hank to get number 3.
Yeah. What do we got?
It's like
Oh, they're looking at the levels?
it's so close.
But someone's got to be the winner.
Ty goes the birthday boy.
Yeah, it's Hank.
Oh, it's Hank. What would be your backup number?
6.
Okay, is that your guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go 33.
I'll go 68 for Brooks.
What a finish.
Yeah.
Class. You didn't get sweeper putter.
I don't know. 37.
37. Okay.
99 pug. 17.
51.
21.
Good luck, Hank. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
If you get this, your birthday sucks.
34.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So close.
So close.
Damn.
Memes you are never going to
I'm
get it.
all over this
One day.
ball. Love
Never.
you guys. Love you guys.
You do.